Douluo, I'm a zombie. I'm the spokesperson for plants. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 51. It's the last day of this month. Time to clear monthly tickets. If you still have monthly tickets, please clear them out. Don't look for them. Just give them to me. Hey, thank you. Finally, please read on. The responsibility of reviving this book depends on this wave. I count out to you. Chapter 52. Tang-san, stop pretending. Let me be clear. I have twin martial spirits. It was like a martial arts master encountering an ordinary person with a Gatling gun. Even though he had profound martial arts skills, he couldn't do anything. Tang-san's figure flashed, rushing left and right, trying to get close to Lin Huan and fight him with his more powerful physical strength. But the two machine guns blocked his way completely, as if they could predict his position and always made him stuck at the most obscure point of his soul power and unable to stab forward again. Damn, is this the way he painstakingly came up with to deal with me? I have to say, Lin Huan, you succeeded. The Xuanchen Gong's true power gathered throughout the body, and the so-called authentic Taoist mind method was running like this, activating blood circulation and removing blood stasis. The skin that was just hurt by the P-bullet gradually became tough, as if he was used to it, or it might be that the Xuanyu hand method spread to the whole body, and he actually felt that he didn't feel any pain. He was very proud in his heart, but his face did not reveal any of it. He still showed the image of a charger who was being shot but continued to move forward. However, the distance between him and Lin Huan was shortened unconsciously. Lin Huan strolled leisurely, firing with two guns in his hands. His soul power was deep at this time, enough to support a long period of fire suppression. Even at this time, he was only using the simplest ordinary shooter summoned by the sun. He had not used the poison pea shooter yet. Tang-san relied on the ghost shadow and the increasingly thick skin to resist the firepower and finally approached the best attack distance of his blue-silver grass. At this time, Lin Huan also keenly perceived his intention. His figure flashed and was about to fly back. Humphrey, too late. First soul skill, entanglement. This time, while launching the entanglement at close range, the sharp saw thorns on the edge of the blue-silver grass branches and leaves, like a giant python devouring a dragon, also became blue, obviously having stimulated his specialty poison to the extreme. When the blue-silver grass had its first soul ring, it inherited the toughness and poison of the mandragora snake, but the originally deadly poison had turned into the most common paralysis poison. And the second soul ring also strengthened these two aspects. The poison and toughness of the ghost vine made his blue-silver grass change again, and the poison was also upgraded to the so-called nerve paralysis poison. It can't get over it. Originally, they were both deadly and terrifying toxins. One was the Snake King Mandragora, and the other was the ghost vine poison that turned into pus in a moment. When it came to him, paralysis, still paralysis, but even so, it was still regarded as a killer by him. Tang sect disciples, what skills are the best? The one who said that he was cheating on his teacher and destroying his ancestors, stealing chickens and dogs, and making sneak attacks. Stand up. I promise not to beat you to death. And the one who said paralysis, get out. Ahem. The Tang sect is best at hidden weapons and poison. Although these two bowls of rice of the Tang sect are not elegant enough to be on a table, they are Tang-san's favorites. Every time he uses them, he feels I am proud. The situation on the field changed in an instant. Even Jugubo and Tang Hao, who were watching the battle in secret, did not expect that their opponent was so abnormal. When Lin Huan suppressed Tang-san before, Jugubo had a triumphant smile on his face, pinching his waist, tilting his head and pouting his lips. Although he did not say anything, his meaning was clear. Unexpectedly, Tang-san counterattacked, and Lin Huan also used his elbows and armpits because of this. The defense he had just prepared was interrupted by his control of the crane and the dragon. Sizzled! Exclamation mark with the sound of the silk shattering. Blood stains Lin Huan's clothes. Tang San's blue-silver grass became more and more tough after obtaining the ghost vine spirit ring, and not only that, the shape of the blue-silver grass also changed to look like the ghost vine. The ghost vine is a disgusting plant-type soul beast. It looks like an ordinary mountain vine, but the vines that grow out of it have sharp spikes. In addition to the changes in its branches and leaves caused by the original mandrake snake, the blue-silver grass has completely turned into a poisonous whip with barbs and blades. Although Lin Huan's body was strong, it was not invulnerable. Moreover, he had not yet used his zombie martial spirit. The blue-silver grass had also lacerated several bloody wounds on his arms. The two girls who were watching the battle were so scared that they sat together from one side to the other. You held my hand, I held your arm, and looked at the two people fighting in the field with a worried look. Tang San's plan succeeded. He exchanged the continuous attacks for this smooth counter-control. At this time, he was in high spirits. A set of small combos. Entanglement followed by parasitism. Fine vines wrapped around Lin Huan. As Tang San's soul ring flashed, he continued to bless his soul power. The blue-silver grass grew instantly and tightly bound Lin Huan's body. Except for Lin Huan's head, his whole body was wrapped in the blue-silver grass. Moreover, he was afraid that Lin Huan would break free from his blue-silver grass. The blue-silver grass on his body was still tightening and entangling, and at the same time, it continued to inject paralysis toxins into Lin Huan's body through the spikes. Tang San walked in front of Lin Huan, a smile on his lips. He turned his wrist, made a fist, and aimed at Lin Huan's left eye, wanting to give him a taste of his own medicine. Feeling the blue-silver grass wrapped around him shrinking, Lin Huan didn't panic. He looked at Tang San indifferently, shaking his arms and walking towards him. He could feel that the tough blue-silver grass had completely controlled Lin Huan at this time, and the poison was injected into his body without cost. The overall situation has been decided. Haha, what do you think, Lin Huan? Do you accept it? I deliberately showed weakness to the enemy before. This is all tactics. Do you understand? However, you do have some skills, but you are still a little worse than me. Ha ha ha. Lin Huan just watched him pretend quietly, and then, when Tang San walked in front of him and raised his fist, bang! Exclamation mark. With a loud bang, the blue-silver grass wrapped around Lin Huan expanded in an instant, and then reached its limit in the next moment. The blue-silver grass wrapped around him was blown into powder in an instant. Among the broken branches, a familiar fist swung again, and with a bang, it hit the half of Tang San's face that had not tasted the eye cannon. This directly stunned Tang San. He took 2 steps back and sat on the ground with a plop. With swollen band eyes, he looked at Lin Huan and said in disbelief, "How is it possible? How can you break free? Where's my poison? Why didn't my poison work?" His face was full of question marks, and he didn't know how to explain what the hell was going on in front of him. Lin Huan shook his shoulders and looked at Tang San playfully. Now it was symmetrical, otherwise my obsessive-compulsive readers would be driven to death. Poison? Does that count as poison? As the words fell, a poison pea appeared in his palm. With a casual throw, it penetrated a broken blue-silver grass root scattered in front of Tang San, and then the root turned into a pool of poisonous water under Tang San's stunned gaze. He understood that Lin Huan could also use poison, and was stronger than his own. Exclamation mark. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect that Lin Huan, with thick eyebrows and big eyes, would also use poison. But, do you think you won? Today, I won't pretend anymore. I'm showing my cards. I have twin martial spirits. Extreme anger and jealousy made him in a trance. He couldn't wait to win back in other aspects, and the most likely one was his own talent. Twin martial spirits. This is a peerless talent that even the master praised. Perhaps only in this way can he really win once. As for the consequences, he can't care so much now. At worst, he can kill them all and destroy the corpses. Please read it again, please. The second chapter will be very late, probably around 1 o'clock, so don't wait, friends. Chapter 53 Chaotic Cloaks. As Tang San said this, Lin Huan was stunned. Even Tang Hao and Zhuge Bo, who were secretly observing the situation in the field, were stunned. Tang Hao cursed in his heart. He had clearly warned Tang San to use the hammer to protect the grass, But now he hid the hammer first and waited until the grass didn't need to be protected before taking it out to use. "You are so good." With a dark look, Tang Hao slightly turned sideways under the cloak. Bazi felt that a vicious look had fallen on him, which made him tremble with fear. "Killing intention!" He knew something he shouldn't know. This dog is too domineering than the Tang family. Damn, get ready to fight. Although he was highly alert in his heart, Jugubo didn't stop talking. You probably won't believe what I said if you didn't hear or see it. I know you are very anxious, but don't be anxious. Wait until they finish fighting, and then you can deal with it as needed. Although Jugubo was talking to Tang Hao, his eyes were staring at Lin Huan in the field. If he remembered correctly, when Lin Huan was unconscious, his martial spirit possessed him intermittently. Judging from the condition he showed at that time, this kid might also have twin martial spirits. After Lin Huan woke up, he didn't ask, and he didn't even mention it. Everyone has their own privacy. This kid must have his own considerations. Don't be in a hurry. Lin Huan was surprised because he didn't expect Tang San to be so unable to accept failure. How could he, an outer disciple of the Tang sect, be so arrogant? He can't bear any grievances. Isn't this Tang wrong of the Tang sect? Dao Wu and Zhuge Yan, who were watching the game on the field, were really stunned. What is a twin martial spirit? It seems that they have some impression. Oh my god, it can't be two martial spirits. The two women looked at the confrontation in the field nervously, their bodies almost stuck together, their hands tightly holding each other's hands, and the thumping of their hearts could be clearly felt by each other. As the two exclaimed, Tang San, who was sitting on the ground, stood up, and as the black light flashed in his left hand, a small black hammer with strange patterns appeared silently. The people outside the field could naturally see that the small hammer in Tang San's hand was not a forged external object, but a martial spirit condensed from real soul power. Although there was no soul ring flashing on the small hammer, they could see that when Tang San held the hammer in his hand, the footprints were much deeper than before. As Tang San's soul power increased, even if he did not add soul rings to the clear sky hammer, its weight was constantly increasing. Even if the hammer itself did not look big, its actual weight had reached a terrifying nearly 500 kilograms. What is a gifted talent? What is the posture of a god king? What is? Tang San looked at Lin Huan, who was stunned in front of him, and glanced at Zhao Wu and the two people who were watching in surprise. He felt extremely satisfied in his heart. Even if you beat me now, it doesn't matter. After I am banned, I will have the ability to compete again. The smile will not disappear, it will only shift. Now, the winning smile has shifted from Bo Zi's face to Tang San's face. Can't my 18 spirit rings crush you? There are many ways to expose one's twin martial spirits. When planning before the battle, he had already made plans to expose his twin martial spirits, but that situation is not the same as the current situation. The picture he expected was, Lin Huan is an old silver coin, hiding his strength very deeply. During the fight, he made a small mistake and was caught by the opponent, followed by a series of attacks to completely suppress him. He fought back, and at the critical moment, he took out his clear sky hammer, and the final blow completely stunned Lin Huan. Then he suppressed the opponent with his hammer until Lin Huan couldn't hold on and admitted defeat. At that time, he said calmly, it doesn't matter if I let you have a few moves. I have been hiding half of my strength to fight you. Why do you think you can suppress me in the early stage? I have two martial spirits. The mountain wind blew, the stars and the moon were shining, the clothes fluttered, and it was full of style. However, the situation was beyond his expectations from the very beginning. He had thought of countless possibilities before the battle, but he didn't expect that he would not be Lin Huan's opponent. He had many means. As the heir of the Tang sect, he couldn't deal with Lin Huan. This feeling of loss from falling from a high place almost suffocated him. He had always been a strong man with a high mentality. He looked down on these children under 10 years old in his heart, but he was just like that. Anger, hatred, and then endless jealousy. Jealousy soared to the sky. He no longer cared about the previous few people's advice to him. He wanted to prove that his talent was invincible. Even if Lin Huan could defeat him with tricks, his talent was something he couldn't do even if he tried hard. He raised the clear sky hammer in his hand, stepped on the ghost shadow and rushed up again. I am a twin martial soul. If you have the guts, you can fight me head on. Be a man, don't dodge. The weight of the clear sky hammer after adding soul power became more and more amazing. At this time, Tang San's mentality collapsed again, and his steps were scattered and unbearable. Lin Huan could have completely avoided it with his own speed, but he didn't hide. Not only because of what Tang San just said, but more because he was also struggling in his heart. How should he deal with this somewhat out-of-control battle now? Tang San did not play by the routine and exposed his martial soul. Such top-secret information would definitely not be allowed to be spread out by anyone. And the best way to keep a secret, it is estimated that Hiroko has delayed him now, but as long as he recovers, this confrontation is basically impossible to escape. However, if the person who knows the secret of his father and son also has a handle in his hand. Originally, Lin Huan wanted to directly expose his zombie martial soul, but in fact, after thinking about it carefully, there is no need for this. They have a secret that can attract all of the soul masters in the world. What is a twin martial soul? That thing is not theirs, and 100,000-year soul beast is a very fragrant existence. With Ao Wu as a handle, Tang Hao can easily control them. Looking at Tang San swinging his hammer, Lin Huan was no longer polite. After stretching his muscles, he clenched his fists, and his body surface showed golden light. The golden nut defense hit his fists. Boom! Exclamation mark. The first collision, Lin Huan's fists trembled slightly, his wrists were a little numb, and Tang San on the opposite side couldn't stop retreating backwards. The clear sky hammer that he had accumulated all his soul power weighed 1,000 pounds, and with his own divine power, this hammer would hammer down even a piece of iron by a few centimeters. But it hit Lin Huan's fist and bounced his hammer back. Exclamation mark. You forced me to do this. Dear audience, please read it again. Today, the company held an event, so I was forced to go online. I didn't come back until after 10 o'clock. I'm very sorry for the delay in the second chapter. Chapter 54, the latest 2 chapters of the Poison Point outbreak. Last night, 2 chapters were said to be a bit toxic, but I don't quite understand what the toxicity is. I will go back tonight and take a closer look at these 2 chapters. I think they will need a lot of changes. Friends who have their own ideas can say them in the book review section. I will read them. I feel at ease to get your feedback. I am proud of those who think it is fun and funny, and I also want to know why those who think it is toxic and trashy are so toxic. That's it. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 55, So what if the 8 meridians of the twin martial spirits are opened under the clear sky hammer? P.S. Chapter 49 has been revised, and there are many changes. Everyone, please go back and take a look. Chapter 48 has not been changed. You forced me to do this. A trace of ruthlessness appeared in Tang San's heart. His body turned with the inertia of the rebounding hammerhead, and he still used his calf to exert force. The rebounded hammer was swung up again, swung around him in the air, and attacked Lin Huan again with a whistling sound of wind. The speed of this attack was not only faster than the first attack, but also more powerful. Chaotic cloak hammer technique. When you meet a strong opponent, you will become stronger. Using his body to drive the clear sky hammer to circle around, and smash towards Lin Huan again, he continued to provoke him. Come again if you have the guts. Lin Huan clenched his fists hard. To be honest, the power of the previous attack was average, but it only shook his arm a little numb. But the soul power was constantly surging in the meridians, making Lin Huan's blood boil, and he wanted to collide like this a few more times. With a low roar, Lin Huan stepped forward, retracted his right fist between his ribs, and then blasted out like a cannon hammer. Bang! Every time he punched, Lin Huan felt as if a seal in his body had been broken. His soul power flowed more smoothly, and his strength became stronger. As if he was somewhat disgusted with Tang San's slowness, Lin Huan would roar every time he made a move, and his blood became hotter and hotter. 3 punches, 5 punches, 10 punches, 20 punches. Just like a frame forging iron, huge soul power fluctuations and dull collisions continued to burst out in the venue. This battle has completely entered the final decisive and most intense stage. After the 6th collision, every time the two confronted each other, the nut defense on Lin Huan's fist would be shattered instantly. The intensity of the confrontation between the two at this time has completely exceeded the battle of the Great Soul Master level. Lin Huan's fists were bloody, which seemed extremely scary, but in fact, it was just a little skin. Although he did not activate the zombie martial spirit, which made his skin shell slightly weaker, the previous immortal medicine was not eaten in vain. The bones of the evil golden body forged by the ice and fire yin-yang eyes and the ice and fire immortal medicine were not so easy to break. Muscles and bones rang, and blood rushed to the sky. Every punch had endless strength, and every hearty collision made him feel as if something was shattered in his body, until the last punch. Tang San's chaotic cloak hammer method had actually been messed up a long time ago. At this time, it was not him who was using the hammer, but the hammer that was leading him. With Tang San's current strength, the chaotic cloak hammer method can be used for more than 30 times at most. And as long as it is over 18 times, the constantly superimposed strange force is no longer something he can control. This is the first time he has used the clear sky hammer to use the chaotic cloak hammer method, and in the process of performing it, he also discovered the difference between the clear sky hammer and the ordinary forging hammer. When performing the hammer method, the clear sky hammer itself will release a special martial spirit force field, and the chaotic cloak hammer method is born for the clear sky hammer. The superposition of the two is so powerful that he himself did not expect it. However, he did not expect that in the face of such a terrifying hammer method, Lin Huan actually blocked it with a pair of flesh palms. Moreover, when the 28th hammer was thrown, Lin Huan's momentum was like a long rainbow piercing the sun, and his blood and chi burst out in an instant. The power of his fists directly increased by more than 2 times. He forcibly knocked his clear sky hammer out of his hands and smashed it into the open space outside the venue with a bang. Tang San looked at Lin Huan in disbelief. At this time, his mind was blank. He took a few deep breaths before he didn't faint from lack of oxygen, but he still stood unsteadily. But he still stared at the strange phenomenon on Lin Huan with his eyes wide open. The innate essence sprayed out behind him like a rainbow, and Lin Huan's muscles and bones rang like firecrackers, and his blood condensed like substance. This is a sign that the Ren and Du meridians of the innate 8 extraordinary meridians are unblocked. The two most important meridians among the 8 extraordinary meridians are the Ren and Du meridians. These 2 meridians are also called the twin bridges of heaven and earth in the realm of man and God. They are 2 crucial meridians for the human body to communicate with the great power of heaven and earth. After opening these 2 meridians, the true chi in the body will be endless and continuous. As for the physical strength, it will increase dramatically as the power of heaven and earth nourishes the innate essence. The 8 extraordinary meridians are the bottlenecks that restricted my physical fitness in the previous life. This kind of bridge between heaven and earth is originally blocked. In addition to the indispensable natural materials and treasures, it also requires external forces to guide the impact. Without my previous life, I would not have the chance to speak with my own voice. As the meridians are fixed at an older age, the difficulty of opening the 8 extraordinary meridians will not only increase dramatically, but the effect will also be average. Because the innate essence in the human body has been consumed with age, the benefits are not great. And I just used the clear sky hammer to hammer open the Ren and Du meridians in Lin Huan's body. This is no longer a simple aid to the enemy. He was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. He couldn't get what he wanted, but he easily gave it to his opponent. I, Tang San, am actually a good person. He was just being stubborn. The opening of Lin Huan's Ren and Du meridians at this time can only be said to be the result of both the right time, the right place, and the right people. In the past 3 years, Lin Huan absorbed a lot of immortal herbs, and the net spiritual power content of these immortal herbs was enough to pile Lin Huan's strength to more than 30 levels. However, due to the bottleneck of the second soul ring, the excess spiritual power wandered around in Lin Huan's body, which naturally combed and expanded the meridians in his body. In addition, Lin Huan's physical constitution was also very good. He had been training his flesh and bones since he was a child. Most of the meridians in his body were very tough and naturally unobstructed. Although some small meridians were only connected in subtle places, the soul power could not be completely penetrated, but it was already loose, and most of the other meridians were unobstructed. In the last head-on battle with Tang San, the surging soul power continued to wash Lin Huan's body. The power of blood and soul power rioted in the body at the same time. The combination of the two constantly impacted the Ren and Du meridians that were already somewhat loose. Newton said that there was no road in the world, but when more people walked, it became a road. The constant collision caused the blood and soul power to surge at the same time, and finally the Ren and Du meridians in Lin Huan's body were penetrated at the same time in one fell swoop! At this time, Lin Huan didn't know what happened to him. He just looked at his hands, which had almost recovered. There was no trace of the bloody scene just now. Instead, they were crystal clear like jade. Just by simply shaking his shoulders, Lin Huan felt that his whole body was trembling and adapting. This feeling is so comfortable. Lin Huan looked at Tang San, who was trying hard to support himself, and his voice was low and harsh. Twin martial spirits. So what? After saying that, he no longer paid attention to the somewhat absent-minded Tang San, turned around, and waved to Zhuge Yan and Zhao Wu. Don't worry, we are not interested in spreading your secrets to you. I guarantee it on the reputation of my adoptive father. This was said to Tang San, but also to Tang Hao, who was ambushing in secret. We won't talk nonsense about your little shit, so don't worry. After saying that, his figure had disappeared in the back mountain of the academy. In this battle, the final win or loss was known to everyone present, so there was no need to force this old six into a hurry. He was half-heartedly supported by the two women, one on each side, with his hands on Zhuguyan and Xiao's shoulders, swinging his body from time to touch something. From the way Lin Huan's waist bent more and more as he walked, a clue could be seen. The two women thought that Lin Huan was seriously injured, and they shrank their bodies. Chapter 56 Tang San becomes a demon. As Lin Huan and his companions left, Da Ming and Ming, who were hiding in the distance, also left quietly. They were both restless and would come to see Zhao Wu almost every 10 days or half a month. Today, they happened to see that fight unexpectedly. Boss, do you think this kid is suitable for my Titan Fist? As he spoke, Ming swung his fists twice, fierce and powerful, overwhelming others with force. Damien slid on the ground quite quickly. This kid is much stronger than he was 3 years ago, and his foundation is incredibly solid. And second brother, have you discovered that there is a power in him that has never been used? How many times have I told you, don't call me second brother, it's not civilized. If you do this again, I'll call you Naiuzi. I know what you are talking about. Isn't it the evil power of that dead tiger? It's nothing special, but he is hiding very deeply. If we hadn't had more contact with that tiger, we would probably have ignored this power. That's right, second brother. Second Ming, this kid is not simple. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse for little Wu to be with him. What's a blessing? What's a curse? With just the two of us brothers, we can definitely ensure that little Wu will pass through her infancy smoothly. Tang Hao naturally didn't know that Lin Huan already knew of his existence. He felt that this kid was quite sensible. The gloom on his face under the cloak eased a little. He turned around, but saw Zhuge Bo with a gloomy expression. What do you mean? You are not happy if he doesn't tell others? Let me see how you are being so rude. Zhuge Bo's face turned pale. Damn, this bastard, you swear on my life, you are a real dog. The battle is over, and now he should think about how everyone can leave here. Knowing such a big secret of Tang Hao, will he allow us to leave? However, when he was about to speak, Tang Hao spoke first. Why are you still staying here? Are you watching the jokes of our father and son? He now has a general understanding of Lin Huan's strength. The martial spirit ability is very strange, and the physical body is very strong. Apart from that, it seems that there is no other advantage, and these 2 points are not an insurmountable gap at the age of Lin Huan. Physical strength. He is confident that he can help Tang San forge a stronger physical body, which is nothing at all. He is confident that he will not lose to Lin Huan in the long-standing body refining method of the Haotian sect. In the later period, the advantages of the twin martial spirits will be fully demonstrated, and coupled with the unique secret method of the Haotian sect, Dao San's strength is enough to turn the battle around. He is a little genius, but he is far inferior to Dao San with twin martial spirits. This is Tang Hao's evaluation. Since he is not a genius with great threat, he might as well keep him alive, just in time to give Dao San a long-term goal to pursue. Zhuge Bo naturally didn't know what Tang Hao was thinking, and he was confused at this time. What does it mean? Can you leave now? No. Are the young people now so good-tempered? This is not a little secret, but a super bomb that is enough to attract the spirit hall to hunt him down. Isn't he afraid? Hiss. Suddenly, Zhuge Bo thought of a possibility. When he first met Tang Hao in Notting City, the two of them were about to clash, but in the end it was Tang Hao who took a step back first. Combined with the current situation, he came up with the most realistic possibility. Tang Hao has no strength at all! That red soul ring is a lie, or his strength is not good enough, and he can't beat our old Du! The more he thought about it, the more he felt that it was a great possibility. After all, Zhuge Bo didn't know Hao Wu's true identity. His original idea was to face the twin martial spirits exposed by Tang San, and show a twin martial spirit on his side, so that it would be even, and no one would tell anyone. How could he know that Tang Hao still had a trump card in his hand? Hao Wu. He just felt that Tang Hao's retreat was a bit weird, starting high and ending low, which was completely inconsistent with the style of a powerful person with a red 100,000-year soul ring. Otherwise, I will test him. Old Du has never been so angry in all these years. After thinking about it, Zhuge Bo finally gave up this idea. He is over 70 years old this year, so he should be more stable. Wait until next time. The next time Yanner and Zhao Huanzi are not around, I must test you well. Ahem. Don't worry about that. We won't tell your secret. He repeated Lin Huan's words, and then his figure disappeared without a trace. The moon is in the middle of the sky, and the wind is cold. Tang San sat slumped in the field, feeling the cold wind blowing, and shuddered uncontrollably, with various emotions flashing in his eyes. The twin martial spirits that he had always been most proud of were not even a match for Lin Huan. No, I don't accept it. You Zhao Gang, you lied to me. You said that my talent was unprecedented in 1,000 years. You said that Lin Huan and the others were all part-time students at the bottom of the society, and they were not from the same world as me. You lied to me. His strength is obviously stronger than mine. It must be because the quality of his spirit ring is better than mine. Haha, my master, level 29, he almost died while hunting for my first spirit ring. If it weren't for me saving him, the master-disciple relationship between Yu Gang and me could only last for 3 to 5 days. He made me wear a gas mask for farting, and almost stunk me to death. A dead pig who attacked indiscriminately. It's all because Yu Gang is too useless. He can't even help me get the best spirit ring. And why can he open the Ren and Du meridians? Why? It must be because he lived a better life than me when he was a child. When I was a kid, I had nothing to eat. I could only drink rice porridge, which was not nutritious at all. He could go to the second floor to eat when he just arrived at school. His family must be well off. Tang Hao, my good father. I didn't lay a good foundation for my martial arts in my previous life, but it's still the same in this life. I have been working since I was a child. I have nothing to eat and nothing to wear. My time for cultivation is taken up by the time for housework. It's all Tang Hao's fault. I gave birth to him but didn't raise him. Now I have to raise him! This is unfair! Heaven is unfair! For a moment, strong resentment and negative emotions surged from the bottom of his heart, completely occupying his heart, reminding him of something that almost made him lose his mind, and purple demonic energy gradually grew in his eyes. However, the next moment, his neck softened and he collapsed to the ground. Tang Hao walked out of the woods and looked at Tang San, who was knocked unconscious by him. In the woods, his soul power circulated throughout his body, and finally turned into a warm big hand covering Tang San's joints and acupoints, constantly urging soul power to massage. The soul power turned into a warm current and poured into Tang San's body, constantly nourishing his flesh, while also expanding his meridians imperceptibly. After 3 hours, when Tang Hao left here with a tired face, Tang San woke up slowly. Why is my body so comfortable? He stood up, stretched his legs and jumped high, and felt that his body was different from before. It was as if the whole body was covered with lubricant, so smooth. His eyes just brightened up, and then dimmed in an instant. Lin Huan, wait, everyone is welcome to speak actively. Many comments, thank you, exclamation mark. Chapter 57 Lin Huan's strength surges. The choice of the second soul ring. Oh, I'm old and useless. I'm so tired after a fight. Walking on the small road in the mountains, Lin Huan felt refreshed. The two soft bodies beside him exuded a faint warm fragrance. The moon in the sky and the breeze in the forest. The beauty beside the enemy bowed their heads. These are the 4 great things in life. It's a bit late today. Why don't we go to the hotel in the city to get a room? I don't have enough money with me, so I guess I can only get 1 room. Humphrey, then I want to sleep in the same bed with you. Zhuge Yan, who had been jealous of Lin Huan's different treatment, snorted softly, holding Lin Huan's shoulders with one hand and pinching a small piece of meat between his ribs with the other hand. Oh, that won't do. Dao Huan, he can't get used to sleeping in a bed without me. On the other side, Dao Wu responded tit for tat, and her little hand also twisted Lin Huan's waist. 3 circles to the left and 3 circles to the right. Lin Huan felt that the injuries he suffered in a fight with Tang San were more serious than this, but the pain was in my body and the joy was in my heart. Who wouldn't love such a soft thing as a girl? However, before Lin Huan could think further, a brutal headbang hit him on the head. Turning around, Bazi looked at him angrily. Good boy, you still want to sleep with Yenner at night, and you lied that you have no money. It's really ridiculous. The gold soul coins that I put in the Ruai treasure bag at the beginning were hundreds of thousands. You said you have no money to get a room? I was confronting the titled Buo in front with great difficulty, but you are trying to pick up my granddaughter, and you boy, you swear on my head, you are really filial to me. I don't care if you are my godfather, it's really unlucky. The more he thought about it, the more he felt unsatisfied. Zhuge raised his right hand, pressed his thumb against his middle finger, and blew a breath in front of his mouth. This time, the power was accumulated, and it was bound to cause a landslide. However, before he could launch the strongest blow in history, Zhuge Yan was already unhappy. She pinched her waist with her little hand and pouted. Grandpa, what are you doing? He is still injured. How can you do this? I will take good care of him at night, so that he won't be inconvenienced. Zhuge didn't expect that his eldest granddaughter surrendered first. Your Majesty, why did you surrender first when we were about to fight to the death? Exclamation mark. This sentence made Zhuge speechless. Look at his winking and mean look. Does he look like he is injured? Don't lie. But he didn't attack again, just glanced at Lin Huan. Shuddering, Lin Huan stretched out his little hand and patted Zhuge Yan on the back gently. Ahem, Yanzi, how do you talk to your grandpa like that? No matter when, he who has learned from many masters is still your grandpa. You should be civilized and polite. That godfather, I suddenly remembered that I should have some pension from Nanning College in my pocket, which is just enough to get a few more rooms so they don't have to be so crowded. Zhuge Yan now had a tendency to turn her elbows outward. Although she pouted and was not very happy when she heard Lin Huan's teachings, she still stepped forward, grabbed Zhuge sleeve and started to act coquettishly. Godfather, this is my little sister, Daowu. She is all alone and helpless. My father picked her up. We played together when we were young. Daowu, go and say hello to Senior Poison Buo. Senior is kind and generous. He likes young people like us who have a lot of good things in his hands. Daowu poked her head out from one side and bowed to Zhuge obediently, then shrank back to Lin Huan. Zhuge nodded slightly. Although he was a little puzzled as to why the little girl seemed to be afraid of him, he didn't think much about it. This situation was normal. After all, he was the famous Poison Buo. Only Lin Huan, who was disrespectful to his elders, was abnormal. Since he had met him, he didn't hesitate. He probed into the soul guide with his spiritual sense. Just when he was about to take out a spiritual medicine as a gift, he suddenly found that Zhao Wu was actually filled with a medicinal fragrance. A piece of weeping blood jade was hanging on her white neck. When he saw Lin Huan, he sighed in his heart that this kid was really willing to give up. In the few days after waking up, he followed Lin Huan and watched him pick a few immortal herbs. He was itching to ask about it. Zhuge Bo had learned all the properties of the immortal herbs in those days. Seeing the weeping blood jade, he knew that it came from the acacia heartbroken red, which Lin Huan called the king of immortal herbs. Now that he had the king of immortal herbs, he should not take out his own spiritual herbs to embarrass himself. Zhao Huan, you can go to the herb garden to choose the gift for Zhao Wu when the time comes. You can also choose the gift for your father at will. At night, in the hotel with only 2 rooms left, Lin Huan and Zhuge Bo sat opposite each other without resting. What do you think of that Tang San? A jumping clown, not worth mentioning. Lin Huan really had the strength to say this. With his current physical strength, he could definitely crush Tang San easily. From now on, Tang San would never have the possibility of catching up with him. However, Lin Huan was not careless. Tang San had many trump cards. At least he had not seen the 2 hidden weapons that could kill gods, Guanyin tears and body blood. He still had to be careful. Zhuge Bo also nodded, as if he agreed with his words. Then what will you do next? Next, move, get the 2nd spirit ring, and then go to school. The matter in Notting City was over, and Lin Huan also had to prepare to hunt for his 2nd spirit ring. If nothing unexpected happened, Lao Lin should be level 10 now. Go back and take Lao Lin with you, and then set off to any big forest. The effect of his 1st spirit ring was to poison the sunlight, and the plants summoned by the poisonous sunlight would have poison properties, so Lin Huan had his own ideas for the subsequent spirit ring selection. Elements! His martial spirit did not have combat power, but the energy or attributes contained in the sunlight would be reflected in all his summons, which could be seen from the effect of his 1st spirit ring. In the past 3 years, Lin Huan thought most about his future development path. In the end, he decided that he would take the path of elements. Each soul ring must have different elemental attributes, and he needs to choose those with strong attributes to finally achieve the coexistence of his own 9 elements. By then, he will be the 2nd dragon god. Golden Dragon King? Will it be stronger than his zombie body? Silver Dragon King? Can it be more powerful than his elemental control? Physical and magical dual cultivation belongs to yes, and Lin Huan is not limited to the elemental choice of his 2nd soul ring. The key is to see which soul beast with the right attribute he encounters first. With Lin Huan's current physical strength, supporting a soul ring of 5 or 6,000 years is not a problem at all. With the immortal medicine body forging, the ice and fire 2 yin eyes forging, and the newly opened Ren and Du meridians, Lin Huan's current physical strength is already at the peak state of Soul Master. A 1,000-year soul ring is not a problem at all. His body can fully withstand it. Tonight, when I peeled lotus seeds, I cut my left claw with a knife. I wrote these while supporting myself. It's so sad! Today, I have 1 chapter left for now, and I'll finish it when my finger feels better. Chapter 58 set off to the Star Forest. The night passed quickly, and Lin Huan got up early the next day. He still couldn't slack off in his cultivation. When eating breakfast, Lin Huan met Zhao Wu and Yan Zi, who had dark circles under their eyes. The 2 looked like they had fought all night, listless and yawning. What's wrong with you? What did you do last night? Zhao Wu and Zhuge Yan looked at each other, snorted coldly, and no one spoke. Last night, the 2 women lived in the same room. There was only 1 bed and 1 quilt. Neither of them was willing to admit defeat. Lin Huan couldn't win the fight. Whoever covered more quilts and slept in a bigger bed, wouldn't that be a staged victory? So the 2 of them competed with the bed and the quilt. One secretly stole the quilt from the other while he was asleep, and the other was so angry after being woken up by the cold that he pretended to sleep and stretched and pushed the other off the bed. They stayed like this all night. When it was almost dawn, the 2 couldn't stand the sleepiness and finally fell asleep. Unexpectedly, when they woke up in the morning, they were already entangled with each other, sleeping in each other's arms in the quilt, which was soft and comfortable. So, the 2 pretended that they knew nothing, got up, washed and had breakfast, without any embarrassment. After breakfast, Everyone followed Lin Huan back to Kuiwaguzi. This place has always been like a paradise. Every time, the village chief and other village cadres are responsible for going out to purchase, and other villagers live in their own fields all their lives. "Dad, I'm back," Lin Huan shouted as he pushed the door open. Lin Ping, who was meditating in the room, was frightened. "What a sin! Didn't you go to school yesterday? How come you're back so soon?" "I haven't had any peace and quiet for less than half a day. Why don't you go dig in the field?" "I don't want to hear your voice." Lin Huan had just stepped into the house when he heard these inhumane words. He curled his lips. "HMPH, you said you missed me before, but now you despise me so much." "I don't want to lose face. I'm not going back this time. Let's pack up and move. Your son has found a rich woman. From now on, as long as I have a bite of meat, you will have half a sip of soup." As everyone slowly entered the house, Lin Ping, who was sitting on the kang, found that there seemed to be guests. He leaned to the side and wiped the place where he had just sat with a clean towel. "Come on, get on the kang, get on the kang." This stinky boy, he didn't even tell me in advance that there were guests at home. "What are you standing there for? Go boil some water and make some chrysanthemum tea that I treasure. Bring it up, and bring the dried melon seeds." "Look at you, you don't have any tact at all." Jugubo looked embarrassed, not really used to this simple enthusiasm. But Lin Huan spoke up. "Old Lin, I'm not saying anything bad about you, we just come to visit and go to bed. But what do you think of a titled Buo? Can he just move his butt and go to bed like us, cross his legs and eat melon seeds, chat about gossip and drink tea? Look at your ignorant look. Let's go to the yard, sit around the table, drink tea and chat about the diplomatic situation between the Buo Empire and the Xingyuo Empire and the current situation of the competition among multiple forces on the mainland, so that there will be a pattern." Old Lin was also stunned for a moment, and then he took out a feather duster with some bald hair from his back. "Do you want to try whether my sword is sharp?" Lin Huan subconsciously touched his butt. He was beaten hard by this thing when he was a child, and now he still has some psychological trauma. "Hey, look at you, you're just joking. Why are you so angry? Let's go out for tea." He ran out of the inner room without looking back, and could only vaguely hear Lao Lin and Jugubo chatting. There is an old osmanthus tree in the yard. When he was a child, Lin Huan secretly fertilized it. There is a big stone table and 3 stone benches under the tree. Lin Huan put a fruit plate full of melon seeds on the table, sprinkled a few dried chrysanthemums and osmanthus flowers in the big teapot, and poured a pot of freshly boiled water. The hot water was stirred and the aroma was fragrant. The scene just now was more or less embarrassing for Lao Lin, but it was the best result. He attracted a lot of firepower and made a joke to get the matter over with. But Lao Lin must be able to feel his thoughts. The tacit understanding between the two of them has long been cultivated to the extreme. The way of communication between Lao Lin, a familiar person in the countryside, and those nobles is completely different. There is no difference between these two ways of entertaining guests, but there is the word appropriate. Which way is more suitable? For new friends, the relationship has not reached that stage yet, and there is still a certain sense of distance. At this time, it is better to entertain guests at a relatively clear-cut guest table, with the host and the guest sitting separately, and when they become old friends, let alone on the kang, even in the bathhouse, they can shout and talk and laugh naked. In the future, Lao Lin will become a new noble, and sooner or later he will even become a figure comparable to the emperor of the empire. At that time, it will be fine for him to entertain guests on the kang, and others can only listen to him. After a while, several people came out. Lao Lin and Jugubo talked in a friendly manner, and Zhao Wu and Yanner followed behind. Dao Huan told me that this time she came back to pick you up, brother, to move her family to Tandu City, and then go out together to add spirit rings to her martial spirit. Do we have to leave? Lin Ping turned his head to look at Lin Huan, his eyes full of reluctance. Old Lin, you have to go, otherwise we can't take care of you. Don't say you don't need my care. My origin is not a secret. Some people can find out, you will be in danger then. Besides, you have to practice, right? If the training resources for the newly reshaped martial soul can't keep up, then those elixirs will be really wasted. Lin Ping lowered his head and said sullenly, I told you not to give it to me. Your own broken sunflower seed martial soul is not as good as our home martial soul. Just eat it yourself. You just don't listen, so eat it. Now you want me to leave again. Lin Huan smiled naively. Everything was going according to plan. After packing up his things, old Lin properly arranged the affairs in the village, and then he followed Jugubo and others on the road to leave his hometown. Go out. Hey, Lao Du, where are we going? Star Forest or? Star Forest. If what you said is true, with your current physical strength, there are not many suitable soul beasts in other soul beast habitats. We still have to go to Star Forest. I see. Star Forest is also fine. I hope we don't meet the dead tiger this time. When Lin Huan mentioned the dark demon evil god tiger, everyone's faces were solemn. Jugubo and Juguyan were on the verge of death because of it, and Juguyan almost died. Lin Ping also learned about the situation of the soul beast from Lin Huan, and also knew the difficulty of that battle. At the same time, his heart was full of anger. You are reluctant to beat or scold your own child, and you almost let you beat him to pieces. How unreasonable. Dao Wu also knew about it. She had even fought with this notorious dark demon evil god tiger before. When it came to seize the territory, she went up to help. However, Da Ming and Ming, who were clearly in the upper hand, could not suppress the stinky tiger for some reason after she joined the battle, and finally let it run away. This wave can only be blamed on the dark demon evil god tiger being too cunning. It showed weakness to the enemy in the early stage of the battle. How hateful! Exclamation mark. Chapter 59 The Favor of the Titan Ape. The Xingdu Great Forest has never been a safe place. You may encounter all kinds of dangers here. If you don't have super strength, it's best not to go in here. Even a titled Buo with more than 99% of the power of the Soul Master may be in danger here. The last time Jugubo and his friends were unlucky, they almost all died here. But they all believed that this was an accidental event and the same unlucky thing would not happen to them again. However, luck will kill people. Jugubo, who was at this time and place, was full of regret and speechlessness. He regretted why he dared to come back after surviving the first time in the Xingdu Great Forest. This was obviously his unlucky place. Before entering the Xingdu Great Forest, for the sake of safety, he didn't let Yanzi follow him. Yanzi had already obtained the third soul ring before, and he had to worry more about following him, just like before, and sent him to a nearby city. Dao Wu was the same. Although she wanted to go back to her hometown with Lin Huan to play, Zhuge Yan, who was already on guard against her, would not allow Lin Huan to be alone with other girls when she was not by her side, so she forced Dao Wu to stay. As a result, the team entering the Xingdu Great Forest suddenly decreased a lot. The father and his two sons, two fathers and one son, slowly entered the Xingdu Great Forest. This was the first time for Lao Lin to enter the Xingdu Great Forest. It was really different from the small soul beast forest like the soul hunting forest. The natural atmosphere here was more intense, and the quality of soul beasts was much higher. Lao Lin had been possessed by a soul ring before. That was his first soul ring, which he obtained when he was 32 years old. It was a 50-year-old earth-splitting dog, which was obtained in the soul hunting forest. After so many years of practice, plus the absorption of a variety of immortal medicines, Lin Huan tested Lao Lin's physical strength and felt that it was not a problem to choose a first soul ring of 500 or 600 years. Although the immortal medicine is strong, most of its medicinal effects are used to reset the martial soul and improve the innate soul power. The effect of transforming his physical strength is not very good. Moreover, after taking so many immortal medicines, the effects of taking other immortal medicines will be greatly reduced, or even 1 in 100. Otherwise, Lin Huan could rely on so many immortal medicines to smash Lao Lin to the point of the first soul ring of 1,000 or even 10,000 years. And soul beasts of this level are still easy to find in the periphery. The three people entered the Xingdu Great Forest for only one day and found 3 suitable soul beasts. After careful selection and identification, the first soul ring of Lao Lin's silver soul gun appeared. 100-year soul skills. The state soul skills from the 680-year fiery wolf, the fiery spear soul. The martial soul is violent, and a faint purple flame lingers around the gun body, entering the gun soul state. In this state, the attack speed and strength are greatly improved, and the flame blessing is obtained, and the damage is greatly increased. After Lao Lin obtained the first soul ring, Zhuge Bo sent him out to meet up with Zhuge Yan and the others. He wanted to take Lin Huan deeper. The area where soul beasts existed for 5 or 6,000 years was already very dangerous. With Lao Lin's strength, it was very unsafe in those places. So Bo Zi hurried back and took Lin Huan to the deeper part of the Xingdu Great Forest. Then, before he could take 2 more steps, an accident happened. The soul beast king he had encountered before appeared again, and his 2 huge pupils stared at Zhuge Bo without emotion. At this moment, his heart was cold. After the last encounter with the dark demon evil god tiger, he met the 2 soul beast kings, the titan giant ape and the sky blue bull python. That time, the 2 of them were generous enough to let him go, but their words were quite impolite. He could understand all this. The relationship between humans and soul beasts was not good. At that time, the 2 soul beast kings warned him that humans were not welcome in the Xingdu Great Forest, but he agreed to it at that time. Look, it's only been more than 3 years, and they meet again. He had become much stronger in the past 3 years, but when facing the titan ape, feeling the extreme oppression, he knew that his strength was still not enough. Not enough at all! For a moment, Zhuge Bo's eyes showed a trace of despair. On the other side, the titan ape's big eyes looked at the 2 people in front of him quietly. Of course, his eyes were more focused on Lin Huan. In a sense, this was the first time they met. Lin Huan's eyes were calm. There was no fear in his eyes, only curiosity. He and Zhao Wu had been together day and night, and he must have been stained with her breath. This was the best amulet. He looked at the giant beast like a hill in front of him and compared the difference between the 2. Is this the titan ape, so ugly? The titan ape was speechless and depressed. He did feel Zhao Wu's breath, but when he ran over, he didn't find Zhao Wu. On the contrary, why was it this stinky boy? As the titan ape's mood became depressed, the momentum in the field became more and more condensed. Bazi was already oppressed by the terrifying aura and had to open his own domain to resist the increasingly out-of-control aura. Human, are you ignoring my warning? The titan ape didn't say a word. The last moment his body was still in the forest, but the next moment his figure had appeared in front of Zhuge Bo, and a giant fist bigger than him was smashing towards him. Boom! Zhuge Bo had no time to defend himself. He just expanded his domain in an instant to increase his strength. He pulled Lin Huan forward with one hand and wanted to throw him behind him, but he touched nothing. He didn't expect that the titan ape's target was not him, but Lin Huan. So in his eyes, he was blown away by a wave of air, and Lin Huan was directly grasped by the huge bat. After a successful attack, the titan ape turned around and ran away, not caring about Zhuge Bo, who had already used his martial soul to fight. Zhuge Bo's figure was still retreating in the air, but his pupils had turned blood red. 7th soul skill, green phosphorus true body. 8th soul skill. However, before he could use his 8th soul skill, a more terrifying wave erupted from one side. Under the crushing of the dragon's might, his green phosphorus snake king true body actually showed a trace of fear, and his expression was weak. Moreover, the 8th soul skill that was about to burst out was interrupted by the powerful dragon's might. Don't worry, my second brother just saw that the boy's physical body was strong and wanted to give him some pointers. He had no ill intentions. This is actually a good thing for that boy. We won't hurt him. Zhuge Bo's eyes flickered, and he was in doubt. He naturally knew that Lin Huan's physical body was terrifying. The titan giant ape was also the ultimate king of physical body. But when did the soul beast kindly give humans pointers? He didn't believe it. How can I trust you? You can come here again in 3 days, and you will know everything by then. Okay. Zhuge Bo turned around and left without looking back. He had to deal with the aftermath, including the way to enter the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, the future direction of the Zhuge family, and the recent old friends. And if he couldn't see Lin Huan in 3 days, he didn't mind turning the entire outer circle of the Xingdu Great Forest into a dead zone! Chapter 60 Titan Fist. A few days ago, they went to Notting College to visit Zhao Wu, and happened to encounter Lin Huan and Tang San fighting. At the end of that battle, Lin Huan relied on his physical strength to resist the fierce chaotic cloak hammer method, which made the Titan giant ape regard him as a confidant. This is what a man is, just fist to fist, sword tip to sword tip. Face the challenge. This is passionate and cool! This kid, I am very fond of him! Lin Huan's physical body, Lin Huan's fighting style, all of these make the Titan giant ape feel that he is very similar to himself, and the most important reason is that he also has his own little thoughts. Looking at the appearance of Sister Zhou, she should not be back in the short term, and I can't always follow her to protect her, so let's change the way to protect Sister Zhou. I will teach my signature soul skills to this kid and let him protect Sister Zhou. When Sister Zhou sees my Titan God Fist, it will be equivalent to seeing me. In this way, Sister Zhou will definitely like me more. Hehe. Luckily I acted quickly, otherwise the boss would have figured things out. And it might not be my turn. Hehe. They all say I'm stupid, but in fact I'm quite smart most of the time. Running in the Xingdi Great Forest, Ming's mouth was wide open, and he was carefully holding a human in his hand, with only the head exposed. This scene looked like he had picked up a snack and was rushing home to eat. It was hard not to be misunderstood. Jugubo got so angry that he almost butted up. If the sky blue bull python hadn't appeared to persuade them, there would have been a real fight between the two. Watching Jugubo leave, the sky blue bull python turned around and cursed. Ming, you idiot. You said you would teach me, so just explain the matter clearly. It would be strange if people didn't get angry if you just robbed and ran away. Twisting its snake body, it headed towards the Lake of Life deep in the Xingdi Great Forest. As the two kings of soul beasts gradually returned to the Lake of Life, a pair of blood-red eyes hidden in a dark cave on the edge of the Xingdi Great Forest opened in deep sleep, and looked at Lin Huan with scarlet eyes, and stretched out a tongue with fine barbs to lick its claws quietly. It felt the mark of the evil god it left behind. The kid who had the evil power in his body before was not dead, and seemed to have completely suppressed his evil power. How is this possible? However, it doesn't matter. As long as you are still alive, the mark of the evil god in your body cannot be eliminated. Maybe you can give yourself a bigger surprise at that time. The giant eye closed and fell into deep sleep again. The life energy of the soul beasts that had been swallowed before had not been completely digested. Lin Huan was swept by the terrifying air wave at the moment when the Titan giant ape launched the attack. Before he could see what was going on, he was already soft. He was knocked unconscious by the Titan giant ape with soft power and was packed away. Hiss, my head hurts. This is going to grow a brain. Lin Huan struggled to get up and opened his eyes in a daze. He saw a small lake. He was lying on a piece of open space on the shore of the lake. The clear lake was like a green copper mirror, reflecting the grass and giant trees on the shore. The light was not strong, and the air was fresh and full of spirit, making everything around him look like a fairyland on earth. Turning his head again, oh my, an ugly thing was squatting quietly beside him, with dark hair emitting a black luster, and big eyes staring at him like lanterns. The two big nostrils almost hit his face, and the distance from him was less than 1 meter. It was the Titan ape. Although it was only on all fours, the shoulder height of its majestic body was more than 7 meters, and it was looking down at him at this time. Lin Huan was only frightened by this ugly thing at first, but after reacting, he was not shy at all. He stood up and patted his clothes. He didn't treat himself as an outsider at all. He turned left and right and looked at everything here. Afraid? What are you afraid of? This is your brother-in-law. What am I afraid of? Not to mention the Titan ape. Even if the brother-in-law hiding in the water came out, I wouldn't be afraid. They are all real relatives. The environment here is very good, and the life force in the air is extremely rich. Lin Huan's photosynthesis breathing method is almost running at several times the usual speed, constantly accumulating soul power for himself. The Titan ape looked at Lin Huan and really liked him more and more. This kid's personality is almost exactly the same as his own, but he is a little ugly, big heart, not panicking at all when seeing me, very much like me. Boy, do you know who I am? Brother-in-law. I know. What brother-in-law? I mean, do you know me? People under the eaves have to bow their heads. Remember the grudge first. and then avenge it later. Could it be that you are the legendary king of soul beasts, a super existence far beyond ordinary soul beasts, the king of soul beasts guarding the starred great forest? The Titan ape was a little comfortable with the flattery, and his big eyes narrowed slightly. The more he looked at this kid, the more he liked him. You are the legendary azure bull python? The calm lake began to ripple, and a few bubbles emerged from the bottom of the water. Azure bull python now found the sky a little pleasing to the eye. While Titan ape was almost knocked over by Lin Huan, he supported himself with one hand and pointed at his nose with the other hand, then pointed at Lin Huan. You didn't dig your eyes out. How can you tell that I look like azure bull python? Besides, he is not the king of soul beasts. Lin Huan pretended to be surprised and continued to tease this silly monkey. You are not azure bull python? Looking at you, you are not the powerful gorilla, are you? You are the gorilla. Your whole family is gorillas. I am an ape, the king of the forest, Titan ape. Lin Huan's words made Erming so angry that his nostrils were steaming. He felt like a big rock was pressing down on his heart and he had to vent. Roar, roar, roar! Exclamation mark. The Titan ape, who was in a bad mood, roared to the sky. The dull roar was not loud, but it was transmitted thousands of meters away from the lake of life. All the soul beasts within this range were almost instantly shocked by the pressure in the roar. As if they had heard the most terrifying sound, they quickly fled outside, and there was a lot of chaos. The next moment, the Titan ape, who was as big as a hill, stood up, hit his chest with both fists, and then his legs slightly shifted to the sides. The muscles of his whole body instantly tightened, and the muscles as solid as rocks rose up. The ground began to shake, and as the Titan ape exerted force with his legs, the power from the earth instantly passed from his feet to his body. With his unique force-using skills, this power continued to accumulate and sublimate, and finally mobilized the whole body's strength and poured into his arms. A straight punch, like a rocket launch, smashed into the sky. Exclamation mark. In an instant, a violent gust of air burst out from this terrifying fist force. If Lin Huan had not been far away, he would have been blown to the ground. The next moment, the originally clear blue sky was like boiling oil dripping water, with ripples shaking. The white clouds in the sky instantly swayed, and a huge hole appeared in the middle, while the surroundings were completely transformed from large pieces of cotton clouds to fish-scale clouds, which were shattered. Lin Huan held his head high. Fuck, awesome. Chapter 61. The prototype of the self-created soul skill that combines both hardness and softness. Looking at the white clouds in the sky that were smashed by a punch, Lin Huan had nothing to say, and could only say awesome. The azure bull python at the bottom of the lake spit out 2 bubbles, and he felt as if he was scolded. The Titan giant ape pinched his waist, crossed his arms across his chest, and looked at Lin Huan with a proud look. Do you want to learn? Lin Huan was stunned, turned his head to look at the Titan giant ape, and understood why his brother-in-law had kidnapped him here. This is a bull, as expected. This uncle is a genius. Even a monkey can see it. Ha ha ha. I want to learn this. This is awesome. Lao Tai, teach me. The Titan giant ape laughed foolishly for a while, then shrank to the limit of this realm. After about 3 meters, he stood facing Lin Huan. You have good physical fitness. You should know that a strong body is the foundation of everything. And this is even more true for practicing my Titan fist. The stronger the body, the stronger the power you can exert. So, don't stop. You need to continue to strengthen yourself. I can teach you this boxing technique, but you must know that this is my Titan fist, not yours. No matter how good the things taught by others are, they belong to others. Turning them into your own is the real way to become a strong man. Of course, you don't have enough strength now, so there is no need to think so much. But you must remember these principles. When you have the ability, remember to completely transform them into your own soul skills. The Titan giant ape said it seriously, and Lin Huan also heard it in his heart. Only what suits you is the best. This is the absolute truth. Seeing Lin Huan nod, the Titan ape continued, my Titan fist is very simple and direct. No matter what soul skill you use, I will just punch you. Crush your opponent with pure strength. That's what you humans mean by one force defeats 10 skills. However, how to use this power, how to make it run along a special route. These invisible things are the essence of the Titan Fist. Erming's eyes were round, and as he spoke, he pointed at his body with a carrot-like finger. The power comes from the body. Muscles, bones, meridians, internal organs, and even blood have power. And combining all the power in the body and bursting out in an instant is pure and powerful power. In addition, with the fusion of soul power and physical strength, who can stop such a punch? Lin Huan listened quietly. These words were easy to say, but they were extremely difficult to do. At least Lin Huan couldn't do it now. Sit still and listen to me. If you don't understand, I will send you back in 3 days. Erming, who entered the professor state, really deserves the word smart. Whether it is the power technique or the physical control, his explanation is very accurate, and he will compress the soul power to demonstrate from time to time. The punches are extremely plain and simple, but it seems that each punch follows the natural truth, trajectory and route, and releases the power almost perfectly. It seems that there is no particularly magnificent momentum, but it can burst out with unimaginable power. Lin Huan's understanding also amazed Erming. Often, he just raised his head, and before the others started to talk, this kid could already start the experiment in a proper manner. Even when he had 3 grasses on his head, his terrifying learning ability directly made Erming autistic. It's too bullying. I have studied the unique skills for tens of thousands of years, the ultimate tricks at the bottom of the box, but this kid learned it quickly with 2 grasses on his head. This is unscientific. However, Erming did not feel that he had lost out. On the contrary, when Lin Huan entered the 3 grasses state, some of the ideas he proposed were very inspiring. Lin Huan himself relied on tantric yoga to build his martial arts foundation, and this kind of kung fu is a serious representative of softness, while this Titan God Fist is the ultimate in hardness, almost close to the existence of ultimate power. Under the confirmation of the two, Lin Huan has unknowingly walked out of his own path. Erming also got inspiration from Lin Huan's yoga practice. In addition, he had seen Tang San use the chaotic cloak hammer method that night. That unique way of exerting force and the constantly superimposed techniques, he was also trying to add it to his Titan God Fist. Most of the time, one person and one ape squatted together to discuss. The two of them had basically the same way, and Erming's talent in fighting was not weak at all, which could be regarded as both of them making progress. On the afternoon of the 3rd day when Lin Huan came here, they were attracted by the boiling lake water while they were discussing fiercely. Erming touched his head and thought about it. He seemed to have forgotten something. As the lake continued to bubble, Erming finally remembered what he had to do. He picked up Lin Huan and ran to the outer circle of the Zhengde Great Forest. When the Azure Bull Python came back, he told Erming to take Lin Huan to the previous place to meet Jugubo on the 3rd day. As a result, Erming was too involved in the communication during the 3 days and forgot about it. Jugubo was waiting there before dawn. In 2 days, he arranged everything and sent Jugu Yan and others directly to the Jugu family in Tandu City. After leaving a letter, he hurried to the Yin-Yang Eye of Ice and Fire. After staying there for half a day and preparing a few immortal medicines, he rushed to the Zhengde Great Forest. There was a special immortal medicine in the Soul Guide, Snow Swan Kiss. Lin Huan had introduced the medicinal properties of this immortal medicine to him. At that time, he felt that this immortal medicine was very suitable for him, but now, he wanted to use it for another thing. After waiting for a long time, Jugubo's patience gradually disappeared. The bloodshot in his eyes became more and more intense, and he kept pacing back and forth. The toxins in his body even began to spill out inadvertently, causing the surrounding flowers and plants to wither. In the afternoon, seeing that the sun was about to set, Jugubo's heart sank completely. He clenched his fist lightly. He and this kid had only known each other for a few years, but they got along very well. He even wanted to take his own life to avenge him. If he told this to the almost inhuman Jugubo a few years ago, he would definitely think it was ridiculous. But, I, Jugubo, have always been unexpected in my life. When he was about to start his revenge plan, in the distance, a huge rumbling sound came from far away. Finally, in Jugubo's unbelievable eyes, the Titan ape appeared again, and in his palm, Lin Huan was grinning at him with his teeth bared, rubbing his eyes and even using his soul power to observe whether he was trapped in an illusion. Jugubo confirmed that the person in front of him who called him Bazi was undoubtedly Lin Huan. Ahem, Bazi, this is the Titan giant ape. He saw that my physical body was too strong, so he insisted on teaching me his unique skills. I said no, but he insisted on forcing it on me. It's okay, don't worry, I will be back after I learn it. It will probably take only 2 or 3 months. Very soon. Talk to my dad and tell them not to worry. Do you have any paper? I'll write a letter. Please give me your monthly vote. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 62 Titans gripped and an ice silkworm appears. You have a good foundation, but it can be better. Come on, try this. On the shore of the Lake of Life, a young man stood quietly, his legs slightly apart, his body slightly squatting, his fists and palms moving slowly and with difficulty, sweat pouring down his forehead. Upon closer inspection, the young man looked handsome, but his spirit seemed a little weak and frail. Judging from his situation, he was just holding on. Yes, the Titan Fist can exert greater power in my hands, partly because of my domain, gravity control. Although you don't have this ability, you can be even stronger in the gravity field. The Titan giant ape stood quietly on the side with his fists on the ground. The pale yellow earth power was flowing slightly, constantly changing the gravity around Lin Huan. Lin Huan's sweat would slide down his cheeks at a high speed almost as soon as it seeped out. Now the gravity around him has increased tenfold. The sweat beads that were originally sliding down slowly are so fast, and he still insists on punching and stepping. This kind of life lasted for more than 2 months. That day, after he left a letter to Zhao Wu and the others for Bozi, he followed Erming back to the Lake of Life and continued to practice the Titan Fist here, in order to help him continue to strengthen his physical fitness so as to better understand the operation of power. Erming started the field teaching mode. Strengthening gravity, 1 or 2 times, is not difficult for Lin Huan at all. It goes directly to 5 times. After adapting to it for a day, Lin Huan can successfully complete a set of boxing. 6 times gravity, 3 days to adapt, 7 times took 6 days, until more than a month later, Lin Huan was able to move under 10 times gravity. Although it is difficult, it is indeed effective. Under 10 times gravity, everything becomes as heavy as Mount Tai. Even the air around him seems to be extremely heavy, and his legs seem to be as heavy as lead. When he takes a step, he can't lift a finger distance, and he can't walk a few inches every time he lifts his legs. Not only practice, in the past 2 months, Lin Huan's eating and sleeping are all carried out under this extreme gravity. At the beginning, Lin Huan could still support himself, but as time went by, he had to live in this extreme gravity field all the time, which made his mind extremely tired. However, the effect of this kind of training was extremely effective. The enhanced gravity required Lin Huan to make every movement with perfect coordination of his muscles and bones, otherwise he would not be able to move at all. In this process, he had to use every bit of strength in the right place and perfectly control his own strength to do it. By now, the soul power in his body had long been depleted, and every bit of strength was squeezed out from the bones by Lin Huan. After swallowing the immortal medicine, the medicinal power accumulated in the muscles and bones of the body was also squeezed out little by little under this near-limit pressure, and thoroughly integrated into every inch of his flesh and blood. His right hand slowly pushed out, and at the extreme position, his fist turned into a palm. Suddenly, a terrifying force emanated from his palm, and the huge rock that his palm was aimed at was pulled over with extreme strength. Then he pinched his palm hard, twisting it into powder and dissipating it with the wind. It's done! The Titan ape's eyes lit up. This was a very terrifying move in his Titan Fist. It combined powerful controllability and aggressiveness. With this move, Erming was able to kill anyone with less power than himself with one hand. The combination of gravity control field and terrifying power, Titan's grip! Exclamation mark. After Lin Huan successfully performed this move, he completely fainted. The Titan ape removed the enhanced gravity and let Lin Huan fall into a deep sleep. Lin Huan was not the only one who suffered from the tension these days. He was also constantly persisting, maintaining the field for such a long time, even if he only applied it to a small area around Lin Huan, still consumed him greatly. If it weren't for the fact that the life force here was much richer than that in the outside world, he wouldn't be able to hold on for so long. Now both of them need to take a good rest. The lake surface was surging with bubbles, and a huge bullhead emerged. Looking at the two people, one big and one small, lying on the ground, he shook his head and dived into the lake again. What his two brothers didn't notice was that as Lin Huan fell asleep, his somewhat depleted body was madly absorbing the unknown exuberant life force here, and a trace of extremely obscure spiritual power mixed in this majestic life force also poured into Lin Huan's body. Lin Huan felt that he slept very comfortably. Not only was the fatigue of his body swept away, but even his spirit, which had been tense for a long time, was completely restored in this deep sleep. He even felt that his soul power seemed to have improved a lot. Confused, Lin Huan opened his eyes and suddenly found that he had no entity at this time. It was like a gust of wind, and like a piece of space. The place where he was in a starry sky. The light spots in the sky were flashing and boundless, and his eyes seemed to be able to pass through any corner of the starry sky. Just when Lin Huan was wondering where this was, he found a small golden silkworm in front of him. It was a small golden silkworm that was about the same length and thickness as his thumb. It was white and fat. The reason why it looked golden was because it had circles of golden rings on its body, as if it was a tidal buoy with 9 circles of golden patterns. The fat silkworm was obviously a little confused. He just separated a wisp of his spiritual power to observe the outside world. How could it be absorbed by others? And it went directly to the sea of spirits of others. Wait, this sea of spirits is too big. The fat silkworm was obviously like a fish in water here, constantly flying back and forth between the horizons, and using his spiritual power to explore something. Although the scope of this sea of spirits is not that large compared to his own, how many years has he lived? And the age of this sea of spirits is obviously younger than the fraction of his own fraction, probably only in the single digit. Maybe, after this kid grows up, he can bear his own spirit ring. Lin Huan started practicing tantric yoga in his last life. This secret yoga pays special attention to the cultivation of the state of mind. After crossing over, he has 2 souls in his previous lives. His starting point is higher than others. After experiencing life and death, he took a soul-fixing grasp that specifically enhances the power of the soul. His spiritual sea is definitely stronger than that of soul masters of the same level. Exclamation mark. Ahem. What's your name? Dan Ice Silkworm, which has not yet reached the 1,000,000-year limit, spoke. What appeared in Lin Huan's spiritual sea was just a small distraction of his spiritual power. It couldn't last long, let alone read Lin Huan's memory. Big fat silkworm, who are you and where are you from? Lin Huan's spirit was floating in the space. He could naturally feel that the power contained in this little thing in front of him was not worth mentioning at all. So he reversed his role and questioned Dan Ice Silkworm. The second round of successful resurrection, thanks to the strong support of brothers and sisters. The next is the exciting second round of defense and the third round of sprint. I hope everyone will read more and send some monthly tickets. If you want to reward, you can give a little or 2. Thank you. Go, go, go. The second chapter will be a little late tonight, so don't wait. Chapter 63. The Wisdom Soul Ring is fooling people. Dan Ice Silkworm was very sensible. He knew that this might be his best chance to escape and ascend to heaven in the past 10,000 years. If he didn't seize it, he might be swallowed to death. So, he told the story. I am a golden patterned ice silkworm from the far north. I am a soul beast that cultivates both spiritual and ice attributes. However, the combat effectiveness of our clan is affected by the strength and speed of the body. We basically have no combat effectiveness, and our lifespan does not exceed 10,000 years. But I am an exception. Exceptions are eternal enemies. Lin Huan snorted inexplicably in the void. The power of the home court and the truth contained in this sentence made Dan Ice Silkworm's mind wander. The more he chewed on this sentence, the more he felt that this young man was unfathomable. "That, I am a good silkworm," he explained, and then told his story to himself. "When I was 13 years old, I luckily fell into an ice crack and sucked in a large ball of 10,000-year-old cold marrow. Then I fell into a 10,000-year sleep. When I woke up, I had become a 10,000-year soul beast. So, I stayed in that ice cave, constantly searching for and devouring the 10,000-year-old cold marrow, and then kept falling into a deep sleep. This sleep lasted for another hundreds of thousands of years, until the golden patterns on my body reached an unprecedented 9 circles. The cold marrow in the ice cave had been eaten up by me, and I drilled out directly from the bottom of the ice cave and drifted into the sea. At that time, I already had 9 golden patterns, which meant that I was an invincible 900,000-year soul beast. However, my lack of fighting power gradually brought me to the end of the road. So, I fled to the land, but the land was even more terrifying. I would emit a special aura that would attract other soul beasts and could not be concealed at all. I fought with them for 800 rounds. In the end, I was outnumbered and trapped in the center of the Zhengdu Great Forest by many super ferocious beasts. They forced me to release my own life force for them to absorb. These bastards treated me as food. I am constantly releasing my life force for them to absorb. You absorbed quite a bit just now. I worked so hard for it. You worked so hard to eat and sleep through training. Don't think you're not tired. It's very hard. Dan Ice Silkworm felt a little guilty, but still said righteously, I can't just sit there and wait to die. So I tried to mix my spiritual little golden silkworm with the overflowing life force, trying to explore an escape route. But, before I could explore, my spiritual power was sucked in by you. That's it. Lin Huan nodded and remained silent. To be honest, according to the timeline, the Tan Ice Silkworm at this time had not reached 1,000,000 years old and was not able to break free from the shackles of Ditian and other ferocious beasts. However, if you plan well, there might be a chance. They are so abominable. How can they treat such a cute little silkworm like this? Then, little silkworm, have you thought about how to run away? Tan Ice Silkworm was distracted and stared blankly. Me, a super fierce beast of 990,000 years old. Super fierce. You call me little silkworm? Don't I have any face? Silkworm attacks and kills you. But Silkworm had to bow his head under the eaves, and he could only helplessly accept his identity as a little silkworm. I haven't thought about it yet. Then I can help you think about it. I must rescue you. Tell me in detail what the strength of those soul beasts that keep you captive is, and I will help you drive them away. Tan Ice Silkworm. 0 Okay. This is something that can be done at the age of 9. No, don't come. They are all very strong, with strength of at least hundreds of thousands of years, and there is more than one. You can't beat them. It's okay. As long as I can rescue you, I'm not afraid. Tan Ice Silkworm. You are not afraid, but I am afraid. Big brother. You are really my big brother. You are so reckless. Really, you should practice hard and wait until you are strong. You are definitely not as strong as they are now. But, my talent is so poor, and my cultivation qualifications are not good. If they are really as strong as you said, I may not be able to reach that level if I practice step by step. Lin Huan gradually revealed his true thoughts in front of the Tan Ice Silkworm. Although he had concealed some of his thoughts, facing thousands of years of devouring and absorbing, he really understood the horror of those beasts, and knew how much time and opportunities it would take for a human soul master to reach that level. Yeah, a desolate voice came from the mouth of the wilted Tan Ice Silkworm. Why don't I take advantage of this moment and fight them? Now it was Lin Huan's turn to panic. Don't. That's not necessary. Newton once said, freedom is precious, but life is more precious. As long as the Green Mountains remain, there will be no shortage of firewood. Little Can, you have to hold on. Who is Newton? A titled strongman, an existence that cannot be suppressed by the coffin even if he has been dead for many years. That makes sense, but what should I do? Alas, I should have known not to come to land and drift on the sea. Lin Huan began to gradually test. I heard that there is a way to obtain soul rings called sacrifice. Have you heard of it, little Can? Of course I have heard of it, but this kind of sacrifice is too cruel and overbearing. It requires burning everything of oneself. Sacrifice is not only sacrificing one's own life, but also sacrificing one's own soul. The soul beast that is sacrificed will never be reborn, and there will not even be a trace of life left. Yes, since this method is so overbearing, is there a softer way that does not require such a great sacrifice to let you escape? You also said before that you have a special aura on you. As long as you are still alive, they will catch up with you sooner or later. Yes, no matter where I run to, even if I return to the far north, there will still be beasts that want to devour me. At this point, Tan Ice Silkworm's expression became more and more depressed and disappointed. The world is so big, but there is no place for a small silkworm to stay! Then do you think there is a possibility that you can exist in another way, for example, a soul ring? But what's the difference between being absorbed by humans and becoming a soul ring and dying? Then you don't know. The difference is huge. You are different from other soul beasts. You are a spiritual attribute soul beast, and you are so old, more than 900,000 years old. If you become a soul ring, with your powerful mental power, you should be able to keep your consciousness from disappearing. In this way, can't you become another existence? Otherwise, call it a wisdom soul ring, a wise soul ring, and whoever can have such a powerful soul ring as yours, with your years of experience accumulation, he will definitely be very powerful. At that time, you can take revenge if you want, and all those beasts who persecuted you will be captured as soul rings. Hiss. The pattern opened up all of a sudden. Although he has almost no experience accumulated in nearly 1,000,000 years, he inexplicably feels that he is very awesome. Moreover, it seems to be really feasible. Why didn't I think of it? Not bad, not bad. This method is really good. Then I will look for a qualified human to assist me. Oh, do I need to look for a one? I am one. You can't do it. You have poor talent, and your cultivation aptitude is not good. No way. Actually, my cultivation aptitude is very good. Lin Huan felt like he was shooting himself in the foot. Chapter 64, Agreement Reached. The Fierce Beast of the Xingdu Great Forest. How good is your talent? Tan Ice Silkworm looked at Lin Huan with eyes as big as ink drops flashing. My qualifications are definitely the best among the people you can meet. Little Silkworm, you are just a trace of mental power now. Once you leave that huge life force, it will probably be exhausted soon. And how many people can reach the core area of this Xingdu Great Forest? You must know that there are still 100,000 year soul beasts guarding outside. Those who have the strength to break in are all titled Douluo. They have full soul rings and there is no place for you. Besides, because you have to keep your consciousness and soul intact, the soul ring you form must be dominated by spiritual attributes. In this case, the person's martial soul is best to be a spiritual attribute martial soul, and the mental power cannot be too weak. All these conditions are superimposed together. Little Silkworm, do you think you can wait? And I have twin martial souls. The soul power is strong, and the martial soul can also accommodate spiritual attribute soul rings. Who else is more suitable than me? After Lin Huan finished speaking, the Tan Ice Silkworm in the air was stunned, and his small Ben-like eyes kept looking at Lin Huan's face, as if considering whether what he said was true. In fact, what Lin Huan said was true. It was not easy to find a suitable candidate to inherit this wisdom soul ring. Moreover, Lin Huan was not wrong. Even if he was put together with Huo Yuhao, the son of destiny, for Tan Ice Silkworm to choose, he was sure that he would be the one chosen in the end. Moreover, he had no opponent at all. He was the only one for Tan Ice Silkworm to choose. Whether to choose him or wait for the arrival of another unknown person should not be a problem. At this time, he took another strong medicine. Becoming a spirit ring does not mean death. It may be a new beginning for spirit beasts. You should be close to 1,000,000 years old now. There is a saying in the spirit beast world that 1,000,000 years to become a god. So, do you think you can break through 1,000,000 years and become a god? Do you feel the existence of that gap? Are you ready to face the heavenly tribulation? I might as well tell you the truth. It is impossible for a spirit beast to become a god. You will die, you will be reduced to ashes under the heavenly tribulation and will never be reborn. But it is much easier for humans to become gods than spirit beasts. And after humans become gods, The spirit rings and spirit beasts on their bodies can be resurrected with soul power. If they have their own consciousness and soul, it will be even simpler. Humans are the leaders of all spirits after all. Without saying anything else, Lin Huan quietly looked at the thoughtful Tannin Ice Silkworm. If Tannin Ice Silkworm still hesitated, then his million years of cultivation and soul would really grow all on a dog. And Tannin Ice Silkworm did not disappoint Lin Huan. After digesting this information a little, his eyes turned firm. The closer he got to that limit, the more he felt a haze looming in his heart. That was doom. He really had no other choice. But you are not strong enough now, and my current state is completely different from that of a million-year soul beast. The enhancements to you are also completely different. So, if possible, I hope to become your wisdom soul ring at the level of a million-year soul beast, not 900,000 years. What do you think? Lin Huan nodded. Of course, he didn't even have to choose. But if I want to break through a million years, I still lack the foundation. But if I have the cold jade shoots from the far north, then it will be stable. How about you give me the whole 10 or 8 kilograms? Well, may I ask, what is this cold jade shoot? This is a rare treasure from the far north. Its medicinal effect is comparable to that of the 10,000-year snow lotus, but the 10,000-year snow lotus is more used for recovery, and although this cold jade shoot has weaker recovery ability, it contains more energy! Give it to me. I can advance if I absorb any 10,000-year level of this thing. Then how should I give it to you after I get it? You just. When the time comes, you come here, and if my spiritual power split senses you, it will come to you, and then I can absorb it through the air with my spiritual power. I'm very capable. Okay, my spiritual power split can't hold on anymore. Remember. Practice your soul power well. I'm waiting. As the sound gradually faded away, a stream of pure spiritual power spread into Lin Huan's spiritual sea. Only an almost intangible spiritual power silkworm broke away from Lin Huan's spiritual sea, escaped into the lake of life and disappeared. The bottom of the lake of life was shrouded in darkness. As he continued to go deeper underground, through the unknown thickness of the ground, the underground suddenly became clear. Like a black bowl turned upside down, inside seemed to be another small world, flowers, plants and trees, but not a single soul beast. And in the center of this underground world, the air there was almost stagnant, and the life force was 100 times and 1,000 times richer than the lake of life in the Xingdu Great Forest. In the middle, a fat silkworm with golden patterns was lying there. His body was firmly imprisoned in place, and endless life force emanated from his body, and around him, there were several beings with heavy breaths like dark clouds, who were much stronger than the two brothers, the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape, and were quietly absorbing the endless life force. From the inside to the outside, there was a blond man, a woman in green, a violent bear, a dark green middle-aged man, and a three-headed red mastiff, the 5 fierce beasts of the Xingdu Great Forest. Emperor Tian, Biji, Dongjun, Wan Yaowang, and Kai Wang, and in Biji's arms, there is a small ball of hair, a little golden retriever. The golden retriever seems to be carved from translucent crystal. The overall shape is very similar to a lion, but when it is gathered together, it looks like a puppy. The vertical eye in front of the forehead is closed, and the 2 big eyes are rolling around. Little guy, concentrate on practicing. Don't be distracted. The woman in green patted the little golden retriever's head gently and said, almost all the fierce beasts have no objection to this newly born golden retriever being in such a front position, as if it should be like this, you know, except for the little guy. The existence here is all at the level of fierce beasts. The existence that can be called fierce beasts is a soul beast that has cultivated for more than 200,000 years. While the sky blue bull python and titan giant ape in the outside world are far from being fierce beasts. At this moment, the fat silkworm's somewhat confused eyes became clear for a moment, and then fell into the same confusion again, but a spark of hope had already been lit in his heart. Tian quietly absorbed the life force emitted by the big silkworm in front of him, and also did not notice the abnormality of the Tannin Ice silkworm. He looked at the big silkworm, but his eyes did not stay on the Tannin Ice silkworm, but looked at the secret underground where the tan ice silkworm was imprisoned. The faint silver halo continued to absorb the life force, and this group of silver halo absorbed more life force than the 5 people of Ditian on the ground. Only Ditian knew of her existence. Please read it. Chapter 65, Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex Yuanzhen. In the Xingdu Great Forest, an old man and 2 children were searching the inner circle in the forest. The area they were in was where the 1,000-year-old soul beasts were stationed, which was full of dangers, but the 3 of them were not afraid at all. Instead, they walked casually and unrestrainedly as if they were taking a walk after dinner. The old man had a simple and upright face, and he was majestic without being angry. His beard was like a needle. He was tall and burly, with strong muscles. Although his hair was silver, his aura was like the abyss and the sea, endless. The 2 young men beside him were also extraordinary. They had similar facial features. Although they were not particularly handsome, they were handsome, and there was an indescribable domineering aura on them, which added a lot of points to the 2 of them. Hanger and Zinner, you can relax a little during your training. Look at you now, you are so old-fashioned, without any youthful vigor. It's grandpa. It's grandpa. Yuanzhen was speechless. It was all the fault of those brats at home. What kind of people have they taught their children? This is unacceptable. These are my 2 precious treasures. Whether the Blue Lightning twins can become 2 Douluos in the future depends on them. Just as the 3 of them were discussing the use of some lightning abilities, Yuanzhen let out a light and turned his eyes to one side of the forest. With the sound of footsteps, 2 people walked out from the depths of the Xingdu Great Forest, one old and one young. The 5 of them looked at each other and were stunned for a moment before Yuanzhen spoke. Brother Jugu, what are you doing? Brother Yu, what a coincidence that I can meet you in the Xingdu Great Forest. What else can I do in this place? Isn't this hunting spirit rings? The 2 people who walked out of the forest were Jugubo and Lin Huan. After mastering the essence of the Titan Fist, he practiced for several days beside the Lake of Life, and at the same time continued to practice gravity control with the Titan Giant Ape. After the day he had agreed with Jugubo, he said goodbye to Ermine and left the Xingdu Great Forest. The 2 had just met and were about to look around for suitable spirit rings to hunt, and they happened to meet Yuanzhen and the other 2. Lin Huan, come and meet him. This is Yuanzhen, the patriarch of the contemporary Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family. Lin Huan's eyes flashed. This is a big thigh. Yuanzhen's strength is not weak. His strength should be almost the same as Jian Yuo, or even stronger. Hello, Senior Yu. My name is Lin Huan, and I'm Bo. Cough cough cough. Before he could finish his words, Bazi slapped him on the back, forcing him to hold back the second half of the sentence. Did you catch a cold? Why are you coughing? Come, let me pat you. Jugubo's voice sounded, leaving Lin Huan speechless. He caught a cold, and you didn't know why he was coughing? Old Yu, this is my grandson-in-law. Look at him. He's in great shape. Yuanzhen looked at Lin Huan, as if he was a little suspicious. What kind of place is this? The area where they are is almost a gathering place for soul beasts of 3,000 to 4,000 years old. This kid named Lin Huan should not be very old, and must be younger than his 2 genius grandchildren. He came to this area to hunt soul rings at such a young age? He's already level 30? Yuanzhen was shocked. He took a step forward and stretched out his hand, which fell on Lin Huan's shoulder. He pressed his fingers, and a tingling and warm force circulated in his palm. As his hand moved, Lin Huan's muscles were all numb wherever he passed. Jugubo watched quietly. He knew that this was the oldest and most accurate way to identify age, looking at bone age. At the same time, it can also be used to test the physical strength of a soul master. As Yuanzhen continued to press, the surprise on his face became more and more difficult to conceal, and the light of surprise radiated from his eyes. It seemed that he had seen some rare treasure. He had determined that this kid should be about 10 years old, but this was not the point. The point was his bones and flesh, his physical state. He was sure that this was the strongest and purest body he had ever seen, with wide meridians, heavy and hard bones, full flesh and blood, and extremely huge power contained in the muscles. Good boy, where did you get such a good seedling? How about giving it to me? Give it to you? Don't you have two grandsons? Could it be that both of your grandsons like it? I can't agree to this. You have to ask him yourself if he accepts it. Get out. I'm not trying to steal your grandson-in-law. How about giving it to me as an apprentice? Jugubo laughed. Then his face became serious, looking at Lin Huan with a serious look. To be honest, he didn't want to share Lin Huan with others, but he knew that Lin Huan was not a creature in the pond, and sooner or later he would turn into a dragon and swim, and he himself was not a particularly strong backing. For example, the first time he met the dark demon evil god Tiger, he had no ability to compete. For example, the last time he met Tang Hao, he couldn't beat him. For example, 3 months ago, the Titan giant ape kidnapped Lin Huan, and he still couldn't stop it. He looked at Lin Huan with a gentle look, and his eyes were the same as when he looked at Zhuge Yan, and he really regarded him as his younger generation. Are you willing? Da Huan, his strength is stronger than mine. However, before he finished speaking, Lin Huan stepped forward with a solemn face and a solemn expression, and bowed slightly to Yu Onzin. Senior Yu, I'm sorry I can't agree to be your disciple. Jugubo's heart trembled. This kid actually gave up such a great opportunity to take care of my feelings. Alas, I have to work hard to cultivate in the future, and I have to live up to this kid's painstaking efforts. However, before he could finish being moved, Lin Huan's next sentence completely broke his defense. And all the emotions just now were gone, because I felt very kind when I saw you for the first time, just like my father. The master-disciple relationship is too mediocre. I've made up my mind. If you don't abandon me, I, Lin Huan, am willing to worship you as my godfather. What master? This is a godfather. Jugubo. Degrees, comma, exclamation mark, little bastard. You're making me angry. Exclamation mark. Yu Onzin obviously didn't react to Lin Huan's turn. After a moment of silence, he murmured, Jugubo is your father-in-law. If I become your godfather, then I am Jugubo's son? No, absolutely not. Lin Huan still clasped his fists and saluted, pointing to Jugubo who was shaking with anger beside him, and reiterated the relationship between the two. Godfather, don't worry. This kind of thing will never happen. Please allow me to introduce you again. This is Jugubo, also my godfather. We are all children of the rivers and lakes, so there is no need to care about those details. Let alone godfather, we have a deep affection for each other, so why not call each other brothers? The words were passionate. Yu Onzin was originally a rough man, and these words made sense to him. Good boy. Then we will discuss our own affairs. I accept your godson. Yu Tan and Yu Tangxin tried to hold him back, but now that the words have been spoken, the matter is settled. They both have sad faces, and their originally stiff expressions are even uglier now. They didn't expect that with just a few words, their status would change from brother to nephew. There is one more chapter to be added. Please give me monthly tickets, recommendation tickets and rewards. Chapter 66 Showdown. The two pillars of the Yu family. Ha ha ha. Good. Just right. I'll introduce you to Yu Tan and Yu Tangxin. Come on, Tangxin and Tanhar. What you fear will come true. Yu Onzin pointed at the two and wanted them to call Lin Huan uncle, but he was stopped by him. Adoptive father. You also said that people in the martial arts world don't care about these things. Let's talk about our own things, each of us. Brother Tan, Brother Tangxin, it's our first meeting. Please take care of me in the future. Yu Tan and Yu Tangxin mechanically clasped their fists and saluted. They didn't know how the seniority was calculated, so only Jugubo was injured. He looked at Lin Huan who was talking and laughing with Yu Tan, and finally smiled helplessly. This kid, he doesn't need to worry about his backing at all. This kid's ability to recognize godfathers is too strong. Now he only hopes that he can be the first on Lin Huan's godfather list. He can see that this kid's godfather is not worth much, and it is estimated that there will be many in the future. It is a bit difficult to ensure that his position as the first godfather is not shaken. Yu Onzin coughed and finally asked the question in his heart. Da Huan, you are 10 years old this year? Almost. I will be 10 years old in about a month. What is your soul power level? Level 20. I haven't hunted soul rings yet. Then why are you here? Shouldn't you go to the outer 100-year soul beast area to hunt soul rings? Jugubo smiled calmly and quickly adjusted his mentality. He was not only Lin Huan's adoptive father, but this kid would also be his grandson-in-law. By then, these people would be his son's generation. Isn't this a good thing? Huan, you can feel that his body is relatively strong, but you may not have an intuitive concept of how strong it is. Let's put it this way. Lin Huan's current physical strength is enough to support a soul ring of 5 or 6,000 years. Ahem. Now it is estimated that it can withstand 7 or 8,000 years. After saying this, Jugubo was stunned on the spot. He was still stuck in the physical condition of Lin Huan 3 months ago. In these 3 months, he was trained by the Titan giant ape in hell until now. How could he not make progress? After hearing what the two said, Yu Onzin on the opposite side was stunned, and then laughed. Brother Jugu, this joke is not funny. You should know what this means. Since you don't believe it, why not give this kid a try? It just so happens that I heard that there are many authentic pure-blooded thunder attribute soul beasts on the Thunder God Mountain where your sect is stationed. If Lin Huan can really reach this level, how about letting this kid go there to find a soul beast to hunt? Jugubo was calm, but the content of his words made Lin Huan and Yu Onzin both alert. Yu Onzin, this kid can absorb thunder attribute soul rings? Is his martial soul of the thunder system? Lin Huan, there is a soul beast gathering place in the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family station, and they are all thunder attribute soul beasts. It just so happens that I have never had a direction for my second soul ring, and I have never found a suitable soul beast in the starred Great Forest. The offensiveness of the thunder attribute can be regarded as the extreme among all attributes, and it is also appropriate to choose the thunder attribute for the second soul ring. Yu Onzin pondered for a moment and said, Dankson, go and spar with Xiaohuan. Be careful not to use your spirit abilities, just your physical body. As the strongest beast spirit family in the world, the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family has strict training for physical strength. Every member of the family must strengthen their physical strength from a young age. Only in this way can they withstand the explosive thunder attribute power and the terrifying dragon power. You can see the clues from Yu Onzin's burly body. Yu Tankson and Yu Tanheng are the strongest sons of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family in the contemporary era. They are known as the two pillars of the Yu family. Their physical strength is even better. They have never met anyone who can compete with them physically. But now it is said that a 10-year-old child has far surpassed them in the physical body. They can't accept it in their hearts. Yu Tankson took the order and went out, with a fighting spirit in his eyes. Lin Huan also took a step forward, but he seemed a little hesitant. After thinking for a long time, he still spoke. How about this, Brother Tankson? Let's spar with our bodies first. If you can't bear it, you can use your martial spirit. Yu Onzin didn't stop him. Both he and Yu Tanheng thought that Lin Huan was leaving a way out for himself. Seeing Yu Tankson nod, Lin Huan didn't hesitate anymore and shook his shoulders slightly. Brother Tankson, I'm coming. After a while, seeing that Yu Tankson had already concentrated all his efforts, Lin Huan moved. In an instant, like thunder plowing the ground, a hole was kicked out of the ground. Lin Huan's figure was faster than lightning and suddenly appeared in front of Yu Tankson. He punched with great force, like a sudden thunder and lightning. Yu Tankson's pupils suddenly shrank. This speed made him unable to react at all. The premise that he had agreed not to use his martial spirit first was completely forgotten. Subconsciously, the martial spirit was possessed. Crossing his arms in front of himself, this was the only action he had time to do. The next moment, boom! Exclamation mark! A huge force came from his arms, hitting him back repeatedly, and he retreated 7 or 8 steps before he could stop. His arms were still trembling slightly, and his 10 fingers kept loosening and clenching to relieve the numbness and soreness of his muscles. After practicing in a 10-fold gravity field for 3 months, Lin Huan himself was not very clear about the strength of his body. This was just to exert 30% or 40% of his strength and speed. Looking at Yu Tankson, who was retreating repeatedly, not only Yu Tanheng and Yu Onzin, but even Jugubo, who knew Lin Huan's strength best, was a little shocked. With this level of strength, this kid can really be invincible in the same level throughout the ages. Yu Tankson didn't see Lin Huan's movements clearly, but Yu Onzin saw them clearly. Lin Huan's movements were crisp and neat, and every bit of strength was perfectly controlled. And looking at his relaxed posture, this kid clearly still had some strength left. He really picked up a treasure. Dan, go with Tangxin and use your martial spirit skills normally. I want to see how much strength you can bring out from this kid. Yu Tan frowned and stepped forward to stand with Yu Tangxin. The two of them were possessed by martial spirits at the same time. Zila, blue lightning flashed on the arms of the two people, and blue-purple snake electricity continued to condense and flow on the two people. The two yellow spirit rings slowly moved. First soul skill, Thunder Dragon Claw. First soul skill, Thunder Dragon Claw. Endless lightning flashed out and turned into a blue-purple Thunder Dragon Claw and slapped it out. The target was Lin Huan in front of him. Wherever the Dragon Claw passed, the air was violently distorted, and a heart-pounding crackling sound broke out. Lin Huan stood still, facing the fierce Dragon Claw, and all the strength of his body went up from his calves, through his waist, shoulders and back, and finally condensed in his right arm, and blasted it. A punch of pure physical strength is also a simple form of Titan God Fist. Air cannon! Exclamation mark boom! Exclamation mark. The lightning dissipated and exploded. Guess what kind of soul beast Soul Ring Huan can get on Thunder God Mountain? More updates, please give me everything. Chapter 67 Yu Onzin's surprise at the scaly armored earth dragon. It was just a simple air cannon, but it directly shattered the Thunder Dragon claws that the two had accumulated to the limit. This pure and powerful force shocked the Yu brothers, but they were all from big families, and they were arrogant. They turned around, and countless violent blue and purple lightnings rose around them at the same time. Second soul skill, Thunder and Lightning. Endless lightning burst out from their bodies, turning into countless lightning spears that rushed out and rushed straight to Lin Huan's body. The explosiveness and power of lightning were all reflected in this attack. The two had the same roots and the same origin. They were both Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex martial spirits. They were both the pride of a generation. Therefore, the thunder power of the two merged together in the air and turned into a lightning spear that rushed away. Facing such a fierce attack, Lin Huan did not retreat. He touched his fists in front of his chest. The next moment, the air began to deform on the tip of his fist. The air that was concentrated to the extreme formed a twisted vortex in front of him. The power of gravity control was revealed at this moment. As Lin Huan threw this punch, the air twisted and terrifying energy exploded. Titan Sky Break. The prerequisite for learning Titan Sky Break is to learn Titan Grip, and learning Titan Grip requires mastering gravity control. Lin Huan's body has been in the gravity field for 3 months. Just like an iron nail placed in a magnetic field for a long time will also have magnetic force. His body was assimilated by the gravity field, so that he also mastered the superficial use of gravity control. At this time, he used it, and as he threw a punch, the air vibrated, and the huge lightning spear shattered into pieces, turning into crackling arcs in the air, and was completely destroyed in an instant and dissipated in the air. Yu Tan and the other man stood opposite, with sweat dripping from their foreheads, but at this time they didn't bother to wipe it off. They looked at Lin Huan with almost dull eyes, and couldn't believe how there could be such a powerful child. This kind of physical strength is probably at least at the peak level of Soul Master. Yu Onzin and Zhugubo, who were watching the battle, saw more than them. In addition to the terrifying physical body, Lin Huan did not use soul power in this battle, but he showed another ability that was even more terrifying than soul power: gravity control. Shouldn't this ability be a soul skill or a soul bone skill? And this kid clearly didn't have any soul power fluctuations all over his body. Could this be a physical talent? In addition, the moves he just performed were well formed. Although this kid didn't perform them in a row, this was clearly a complete set of soul skills. Now he didn't use soul power. Once soul power was added, the power would at least double. Looking at his calm appearance, Tianheng and the others probably didn't put much pressure on him. His true strength should be 1 or 2 points stronger. It's okay, Tianheng and Tianzin, come back. You have to go to Thunder God Mountain to practice well. When you return to the family, you too can still improve your strength. Huan, you really gave me a big surprise. Yu Onzin was born with a heroic temperament. A character like Feng, plus he has rich experience and a pair of tiger eyes that can judge people very accurately. This is why he felt that Lin Huan was very suitable for him when he first met him, because he saw the innocent heart under Lin Huan's unruly appearance. Don't think that these old guys have no strength. The accumulation of years makes them far more powerful than others imagine. This time we came out to get the third soul ring for Tianjin and Tianheng. Their strength is enough to absorb soul beasts of 1,400 to 500 years old. But our blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex martial spirit is a little special. We must absorb sub-dragon soul beasts, so it is not so easy to find. The soul beasts in this area are basically about 3,000 years old. The combat power of dragon soul beasts makes them have 3,000 years of combat power after more than 1,000 years of cultivation. I brought them here to try their luck. Did you encounter a suitable soul beast when you came out? Yu Onzin asked. They have been here for a long time, but they still haven't found a suitable one. If they can't find a suitable soul beast of 1,500 to 600 years old, they can only choose those sub-dragon soul beasts with a lower age. This is also a disadvantage of the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex martial spirit. Sub-dragon soul beasts with just the right age are very rare. It is hard to say that you just happened to encounter a suitable one. Therefore, most of the members of the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family choose soul beasts that are much younger than the target age. This is why there is only one titled Duo in the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, because sub-dragon soul beasts that meet the age limit are too rare. However, these are his two great-grandchildren. If possible, he should try to find more. Jugubo nodded, with a strange expression. This is really a coincidence. He has been looking for a suitable soul beast for Lin Huan in the outer circle of the starred Great Forest for a long time, but he really hasn't found a soul beast suitable for Lin Huan. However, he has encountered several rare soul beasts and remembered them one by one. Among them, there happened to be such a pair of dragon attribute soul beasts. They are a pair of scale-armored earth dragons. Judging from their age, they should be more than 1,600 years old. They are about 3 meters long and round. Although the cultivation of the two scale-armored earth dragons is less than 2,000 years old, they are active in the 5,000-year soul beast area. This is also the reason why Jugubo noticed them, because these two guys are so tough. There is basically no soul beast with a cultivation level below 5,000 years that can break their defense. In addition, the two should be twins. One defends and the other attacks. 2 fists can't beat 4 hands. These two things are the kings of that area. Don't say anything. Come with me. It's your luck to meet me. Yu Onzin saw that there was really a chance. He just asked casually as a last resort. Unexpectedly, there was really a surprise. Hurry up. You two don't thank Senior Jugu quickly. Yu Tan and the others didn't care about being depressed and sad at this time. Their spirits flew up all of a sudden. If they could have the right soul ring, their strength would definitely be greatly improved. Going deeper into the inside for more than 10 miles, when Yu Onzin saw the scale-armored earth dragon that was rampant in the Xingdu Great Forest, his eyes lit up. It was so suitable. It was so suitable. After the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex spirit obtains the third soul ring, its body will gradually transform into a dragon. Therefore, the choice of the third soul ring is very particular. It is best to choose one that can enhance the physical endurance. Among them, the scaly earth dragon is undoubtedly one of the most suitable choices. Yu Onzin fully demonstrated his strength as a super duo. He stretched out his hand and slowly clenched his fist in the air. A lightning spear instantly appeared in his palm. Throw it casually, and the lightning penetrates metal and stone. A scaly earth dragon fell to the ground, its body twitching constantly. Although it was not dead, its flesh and blood had been destroyed. The same blow knocked out another scaly dragon. The Yu brothers stepped forward, each of them finished off the knife, and then began to absorb the soul ring. Please read it. Chapter 68 Thunder God Mountains. Thundering Hell Vine. Brother Yu, how many soul beasts do you have on your Thunder God Mountain? Have you counted them? Walking on the way to the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family's residence, Jugubo asked Lin Huan about the situation of Thunder God Mountain. Thunder God Mountain is as important to the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family as the soul hunting forest is to the spirit hall. except that this forest is not used to hunt soul beasts, but to practice the control of thunder attributes. The blue lightning Tyrannosaurus rex family is surrounded by mountains. The most important reason why the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus rex family chose to migrate here was because there was a strange mountain here. Later generations called it Thunder God Mountain. Thunder God Mountain is shrouded in clouds and mist all year round, and this mountain seems to be hated by the Thunder God. The clouds never disperse all year round and accumulate into thick dark clouds. Thunder and lightning often flash in the dark clouds, and as long as lightning appears, Thunder God Mountain will be struck by lightning. This has become one of the most beautiful views of the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus rex family. The sea of clouds and thunder, the constant lightning and thunder eventually made Haotian Mountain barren and black, but the unique environment also attracted some thunder attribute soul beasts together, and finally Haotian Mountain became a small thunder attribute soul beast settlement. The soul masters of the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus rex family could not absorb the soul rings of non-dragon soul beasts, so this settlement was protected by the entire sect. Later, this place became a natural mimicry training site suitable for the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus rex soul masters. After Lin Huan learned about the strangeness of Haotian Mountain, his heart moved. With this special terrain, he would not encounter the legendary existence of the real first destroyer in the plant world. Yu Onzin smiled, but did not say it directly. Instead, he said to Lin Huan meaningfully, Tan Xin is lucky, but I think your luck seems to be better. Xiaohuan, you will know when you arrive at Haotian Mountain. Lin Huan was speechless. I really didn't expect that Lao Yu, who had thick eyebrows and big eyes, would keep it a secret. The blue lightning Tyrannosaurus rex family is also in the Tandu Empire, but its location is a bit remote, in the west. Finally, after 3 days of full-scale travel, they finally arrived at the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus rex family's residence on the morning of the 4th day. Among the many undulating mountains, there is a majestic pass. Just looking from afar, Lin Huan felt extremely shocked. A majestic city stood between two mountains. The whole body was piled with blue boulders, and the tall walls were carved with blue and purple dragons. Behind the majestic city, there were endless mountains, and in the sky, it was like a storm was about to come. The thick dark clouds were so low that they seemed to be able to be touched by standing on the city wall, depressing and solemn. Moreover, just approaching this huge city, Lin Huan's body hair began to stand up slightly, and even some of the stray hair began to gradually fluff up, and a slight numbness kept jumping on the skin. The master is back. The gatekeeper of the sect noticed the appearance of Yu Onzin and howled directly. Almost all the housekeepers of the Yu family came out to greet them. After knowing that Jugubo helped Chutan and the others obtain the right spirit rings, their enthusiasm almost overflowed. After treating them to a delicious meal, Lin Huan and Yu Onzin, who could not bear the anxiety, took them to Haotian Mountain. Haotian Mountain is more than 10 miles behind the mountain range where the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus rex resides. Even from Haotian Mountain, Lin Huan could feel a sense of depression that made his heart palpitate. It was the oppression from the thunder and lightning of the heavenly power. In fact, it should not be called Haotian Mountain, but more appropriately called Pot-Bottom Grey Bald Mountain. It is really bare, and the mountain is not big, at most 500 or 600 meters. It is said that when the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus rex family first moved here, the mountain was still several thousand meters high. With the continuous lightning strikes over the years, it is only 500 or 600 meters now. The entire surface of the mountain is bumpy, and the surface color is also like the bottom of the pot, black and dark. And those so-called soul beasts that gathered were not on the mountain, but gathered in the lightning-struck forest at the foot of Haotian Mountain. Yu Onzin led Lin Huan forward. Although there were not many soul beasts in the forest at the foot of the mountain, the strength of each one should not be underestimated. Almost all of them were 3,000 to 5,000 years old, and their attack power was estimated to be enough to match that of soul beasts of 5,000 to 6,000 years old. He continuously released the pressure of his tidal, causing the soul beasts around to flee and not dare to gather. He took Lin Huan around and looked at almost all the soul beasts at the foot of the mountain. As expected, Lin Huan still shook his head. The strongest thunder tiger here was only about 4,500 years old, which was not enough. Seeing Lin Huan shaking his head, Yuanzhen said, "If none of these are suitable, then there is only that one." Over the years, let me think about it, it should be about 3 years, the number of times Thunder God Mountain has been struck by lightning has inexplicably increased. This phenomenon is recorded in the ancestral book and is called the Wrath of Thunder. The Wrath of Thunder occurs almost once every few thousand years, and generally lasts for more than 10 years. During these 10 years, the frequency of lightning strikes will increase sharply, and it will even evolve into a thunder pool on the top of the mountain. The end of the Wrath of Thunder ends with the explosion of the thunder pool. The thunder of the extreme explosion is almost comparable to the punishment of heaven, and its power is extremely terrifying. After I was sealed, in order to explore the secrets of Thunder God Mountain, I went to the top of the mountain several times. Finally, I got the chance and found something wrong. The Wrath of Thunder does not seem to be aimed at this Thunder God Mountain, but at an extremely strange plant. It is on the top of Thunder God Mountain. There is a thunder-attributed plant like a bamboo joint. It is because of the existence of this plant that the Wrath of Thunder Mountain has been caused. According to my estimation, this thunder bamboo should be about 7,000 years old. I wonder if you can bear it? Following Yuanzhen's description, Lin Huan also completely understood that it was not thunder bamboo, but the legendary relic of the thunder god, Thunder Hell Vine! With the blood of the thunder god. It is the real first destroyer in the plant world. The blue-silver emperor is like a chicken and a dog in front of it, vulnerable. Born at the top of the plant-based soul beasts, it is born with wisdom, and its newborn is like a bamboo shoot, and can only grow in places with thunder and lightning. The energy it needs to grow can only be given by lightning and thunder. Every time it is struck by lightning, it will become stronger. 100 lightning strikes are equivalent to 1 year of cultivation for ordinary soul beasts. As time goes by, once the Thunder Hell Vine can cultivate to the realm of 100 years, then it can actively attract thunder during thunderstorms and enjoy the bombardment of thunder. Because it was born with the characteristics of thunder, the destructive power of the Thundering Hell Prison Vine is extremely terrifying. The Thundering Hell Prison Vine that has been cultivated for 10,000 years is enough to change the celestial phenomena, form a thunder pool, let thunder descend on the earth, and control the power of thunder to destroy everything in the outside world. But it also has a terrible side effect, as it absorbs thunder without restraint and improves its own strength. The destructive thunder is constantly compressed in its body, making it possible to self-destruct at any time. The thunder pool explosion that Lao Yu mentioned should be the self-explosion caused by the Thundering Hell Prison Vine unable to suppress its own destructive thunder. This time, it is really worth it! Please read it again, Auntie. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 69, Climbing the Mountain, The Uneasy Thundering Hell Vine. At the foot of Thunder God Mountain, Lin Huan listened to Yuanzhen telling the secrets of Thunder God Mountain recorded in his ancestral book. In his opinion, if Lin Huan can absorb the thunder attribute spirit ring, the thunder bamboo on the top of the mountain should be the most suitable. Lin Huan's heart was burning. If what he expected was correct, then the Thundering Hell Prison Vine should be the ultimate thunder attribute. The only thing he was worried about now was that the Thundering Hell Prison Vine was not old enough. Should he absorb it or not? Huan, this thunder bamboo is on the top of the mountain. Let's go up and take a look, Yuanzhen said and walked towards the mountain. Yutan and Yutankson who followed him were in a dilemma. At the same time, they secretly wanted to compete with Lin Huan in climbing this mountain. Although this place is the best mimicry training environment for the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex Spirit Master, they will not completely climb to the top of the mountain, because the thunder on the top of the mountain is too violent, and their bodies can't resist the overbearing attack at all. Most of the time they are a little lower on the mountainside. As their cultivation level increased, their training location moved from the foot of the mountain to the mountainside, and continued to move upwards. This upward climb and continuous transcendence also made the children of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family regard this place as a touchstone to test their own strength. Climb the mountain whenever you want. Yuanzhan and Jugubo climbed the mountain on their own, while Yutan and Yutankson looked at each other, and then turned their eyes to Lin Huan at the same time. Let's go too. The three of them stepped together and began to climb the mountain, Thunder God Mountain. Although it is only about 500 to 600 meters high, is not so easy to climb. Walking out of the buffer zone at the foot of the mountain, the ground in front began to have an arc. Lin Huan raised his foot, and when his footsteps landed on Thunder God Mountain, he shuddered suddenly, and an extremely strong electric current spread from the soles of his feet to his whole body, paralyzing his body slightly, and he had no choice but to stay in place for a while. A smile flashed in Yutan and Yutankson's eyes. They were also shocked like this when they first stepped on Laishan Mountain. It took them a full stick of incense to recover. This process is inevitable. As long as you come to Laishan Mountain for the first time, you will definitely be shocked. But it won't happen again the second time. Maybe Laishan Mountain is marking newcomers. Turning around, they took a deep breath and prepared to climb the mountain. Climbing Laishan Mountain mainly depends on the affinity of the thunder attribute and the physical strength. You can't be half-hearted when climbing. You have to walk until you have no more strength and can't support it anymore. You were quite nice. You were still waiting for me here. Let's go together. However, before they could take a step forward, they spit out the big breath they just inhaled into their lungs. Looking back in surprise, Lin Huan, who was originally thought to be paralyzed for at least an incense stick of time, has recovered and is standing there stamping his feet. While stamping his mouth, he muttered that someone was numb. Lin Huan turned sideways and said, "Don't stand there, hurry up." After saying that, he was ready to continue to move forward. Yutan and the others were shocked. When they first came to Thunder God Mountain, they were only about 10 years old. How come the gap between people is so big? But then he thought, Lin Huan defeated the two of them with his physical strength at this age. He is just a monster. We don't compete with monsters. Humphrey, before, we haven't obtained the third soul ring. Now our strength has been greatly enhanced. It's just right to use this Thunder God Mountain to see how much we have improved. Then, after we get down the mountain, we will compete with Lin Huan. I don't believe it. The two began to chase with all their strength. Lin Huan didn't deliberately walk fast, so he was caught up by them in a few steps. The two gritted their teeth and shrunk their mouths, and walked up the mountain with their heads down. "Why are you so heavy? Talk. Why are you looking at me like that? Your eyes are so scary." "I said that your sect doesn't seem to have many female spirit masters. Do you have any sisters or something? Introduce them to me. Your uncle." "Don't look at me. It's okay. I won't let you introduce them in vain. I can introduce you to some beauties outside. We can both benefit from it." "Oh, don't be embarrassed. Look at your cousin. His face is red and he is shy." "Talk. What's the point of walking without talking?" Yutan and the others have completely seen Lin Huan's true face. That is a chatterbox. That mouth chattered all the way, and the two of them were so annoyed that they wanted to find a donkey hair to plug their ears. Lin Huan was also unsealed. Before, he was with Yuanzhan and Jugubo all the way, and he couldn't talk to his heart's content. Now that they have finally left, he can finally satisfy his desire to talk. However, no matter how eloquent he was, the two brothers of the Yu family didn't say a word, which made him feel very unhappy. In addition to complaining in their hearts, Yutan and the others were more surprised. With their strength, they couldn't be distracted during the mountaineering process, let alone speak. Once they opened their mouths, they would lose their breath. But Lin Huan, this freak, kept talking all the way, and his steps didn't slow down at all. He followed them leisurely and contentedly. "I can't stand it." The two of them took a breath at the same time and accelerated their steps to get rid of Lin Huan. "What the hell? Why are you so angry?" "It's impossible to get rid of him." In the end, the upper limit of the two of them was about 175 meters. Before they got the spirit ring, they could only reach a height of more than 140 meters. This progress was already amazing. "You guys can't do it now? Then I'll continue to go up. You guys can practice here." Continue to go up. 200 meters, 300 meters, 350 meters. When you reach this height, Lin Huan can no longer be as calm as before. The strength of the body has been stimulated by 70% to 80%. 400 meters. The strength of the body is fully exerted, and it is obvious that walking is strenuous. 450 meters. The power of the evil god is slowly running. Almost every step Lin Huan has to pause slightly, to relieve the numbness and pain of the body and eliminate the thunder and lightning power that permeates the body. At an altitude of 500 meters, the zombie martial spirit has already possessed the body in secret, and the strength of the body, soul power and the newly mastered gravity control are all unfolded. Step by step, every drop of sweat contains a trace of lightning and thunder. But at this time, the strong resilience of Lin Huan's body is completely revealed. The Ren and Du meridians are open, and the endless energy of heaven and earth is poured into the body, constantly replenishing its own needs. 670 meters. This is the current height of Laishan Mountain. When they finally stepped onto the top of Thunder God Mountain, even Yu Onzan and Jugubo were shocked. The power of thunder and lightning here was so strong that even they had to be careful. The power of thunder on the top of the mountain was enough to shock a Soul King level expert, but Lin Huan walked here abruptly, looking at the middle of the platform on the top of the mountain. Amidst the lightning, a huge dark purple vine was baring its fangs and claws at Yu Onzan and Jugubo, but it was obviously powerful and weak. Every vine branched out from it crackled in the lightning like a bamboo joint. It seemed to be demonstrating. Chapter 70 Blood Red Thundering Hell Vine Soul Ring. Sitting cross-legged on the ground, Lin Huan began to recover the lack of soul power in his body. He took a look at the Thundering Hell Prison Vine and was relieved. This was the Thundering Hell Prison Vine, and it was not low in age. Judging from the concentration of thunder and lightning around it, it had at least 6,000 or 7,000 years of cultivation. Don't worry, now I will recover my body and stay energetic so that I can absorb the soul ring later. The Thundering Hell Prison Vine is born with spiritual intelligence, and the one on the top of Laishan Mountain is even more special. If you really want to calculate it according to the age, this Thundering Hell Prison Vine is actually more than 100,000 years old, and it is a 100,000 year soul beast. However, that is just an idealized statement. In fact, this Thundering Hell Prison Vine has died 6 times. In the first life, it cultivated to 48,000 years of cultivation, and then it couldn't suppress the thunder power in its body and exploded to death. But a core vine rhizome was not completely annihilated by thunder, but survived. The remaining rhizome sprouted again and started over. In this life, it cultivated to 43,000 years. It exploded again, and the core root was preserved again. The third life, the fourth life, until the 7th life. In this life, it has only cultivated to 7,800 years, which is far from the 30,000 years of the 6th life, but it already knows that it is probably going to die. With his intelligence, he can feel that the 2 people surrounding him are extraordinary, and he can't compete with him who has not yet cultivated to perfection. He wants to escape, but he can't escape, otherwise, self-destruct. However, as soon as he had this thought, a huge pressure directly enveloped him. Under the possession of Yu Onzan's martial spirit, the dragon's might was overwhelming. With just a simple grab, half of his arm turned into a blue-purple dragon arm, and he pulled the Thundering Hell Vine out of the ground. The Thundering Hell Vine struggled hard, and the thunder around it kept bombarding Yu Onzan's dragon-like right arm. However, even though its thunder was the ultimate thunder, it still couldn't cause much damage to Yu Onzan. Yu On's soul-shaking power spit out, completely knocking him unconscious. He took it in front of him and looked at the strange plant carefully. To be honest, he was very excited. If it weren't for the limitation of his martial soul that couldn't absorb the soul ring of non-dragon soul beasts, he would definitely not miss the soul beast. Its thunder power is even purer than his own thunder. The pure violence and tyrannical offensiveness are not weaker than his thunder mixed with dragon power. This soul beast with pure thunder attribute elements is really the ultimate dream of thunder attribute soul masters. However, he doesn't care. He can't absorb it, and the younger generation of the family can't absorb it either. Moreover, this thing is not so easy to absorb. He can feel the horror and domineering power in it, It is estimated that even Tianheng and Tianzin who have cultivated to the soul master level can't absorb the soul ring of this soul beast. This kid is lucky, but can he really absorb it successfully? He shook off the mud and dust on it casually and threw it in front of Lin Huan. Brother Jugu, I can't see through the future of this kid. Huan. Jugubo also sighed. He knew more about Lin Huan than Yu Onzin. Lin Huan's potential really made him unable to imagine his future. Has there ever been a soul master in the history of Buo continent whose second soul ring is a 6,000 or 7,000 year soul ring? Can humans really reach this level? What will his soul ring configuration be like in the future? The third soul ring is 10,000 years, the fourth is 10,000 years, and all of them will be 10,000 years in the future. In this case, there is no need for the ninth soul ring at all. It is estimated that when he is the fifth and sixth soul rings, he can absorb the soul ring of the 100,000 year level. With this configuration, can anyone beat him? This kid, although he is not in tune with his words, he is actually a very pure child inside. If you are close to him, he will be close to you. If you are good to him, he will be 100 times better to you. Yu Onzin turned around, seeming a little surprised that his old friend's evaluation of Lin Huan was so high, but this proved that his vision was indeed good. Ha ha ha, you don't need to point at me here. I know what you mean. Since this kid calls me his foster father, I don't treat him as an outsider. After 100 years, although I won't pass on the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family to this kid, he will definitely be indispensable as an elder in the family. Jugubo laughed, not paying attention to Yu Onzin's ridicule, but just sighing at Lin Huan. He has tried his best to pave the way for this kid, and he can only rely on himself to make his way in the future. The Ren and Du meridians are known as the twin bridges of heaven and earth, which are the bridges connecting the human body's treasures to the heaven and earth. After the opening of the two meridians, the Soul Master's soul power recovery speed will be greatly improved, not to mention that the energy of heaven and earth is already rich here. Although it is almost all thunder attribute energy, Lin Huan can completely absorb it. Therefore, within a cup of tea, Lin Huan opened his eyes. At first glance, he didn't see anything else, but only saw the thunder hell vine lying limply in front of him. The meal was ready, and he was just waiting for himself to open his mouth. He looked at Jugubo and Yu Onzin on the side. They both smiled and nodded, signaling Lin Huan to make his move. After a slight salute to express his gratitude, Lin Huan took a deep breath, and the sunlight flashed in his palm. Before that, he needed to use his special sunlight to understand the specific age of this thundering hell prison vine. Although it had fallen into a coma, it was absorbing sunlight all the time. As the sunlight was absorbed into its body by its subconscious, a lightning life mark emerged in the depths of its soul. Lin Huan had a firm grasp of the age, attributes, and all the little knowledge points of this thundering hell prison vine. The real cultivation was 7,800 years, but after 6 reincarnations, plus the reincarnation time, it was a full 170,000 years of cultivation. He raised his palm slightly, tightened grip, and then charged a punch. Titan's sky broken. He punched continuously until the 8th punch fell, and a soul ring emerged from the thundering hell prison vine that had turned into vine fragments. The color was a terrifying red! When this ring appeared, Yu Onzin and Jugubo were both shocked. Yu Onzin rubbed his eyes and looked at his palm carefully. Was it this hand that killed a 100,000-year-old soul beast? Mom, I'm awesome. Jugubo stretched out his hand to stop Lin Huan, but he spoke first. Don't worry. This soul beast is not as old as you think, it's just a little special. It's okay, I can handle it. After saying that, he sat cross-legged and began to absorb this bright red 1,000-year soul ring. As the soul ring entered the body, an extremely overbearing thunder exploded in Lin Huan's body, causing him to spit out a large mouthful of blood. Lin Huan calmly operated the photosynthesis breathing method, and at the same time constantly tried to use soul power to guide and dissolve the terrifying power of this extreme thunder. The power of thunder rushed into Lin Huan's body from the soul ring, and the dark purple lightning exploded wildly in Lin Huan's meridians. Lin Huan's body was almost bombarded into a mess in the first time. Lin Huan's mouth was bleeding, but he was still smiling. Such a powerful spirit ring, It's really a gift this time. Chapter 71 External Soul Bone. According to legend, there is a nearly invincible existence among the first-level gods in the god realm, and he can even compete with the god king for a short time with his own powerful attack power. This god is called Thunder God. Later, the dragon god rebelled against the god realm. As one of the leaders among the first-level gods, Thunder God led his troops to kill several dragon kings alone. For this, the dragon god was furious and used a trick to lead Thunder God out of the god realm. That day, the sky was churning and thunder was dancing wildly. After that battle, the dragon god took a long time to recuperate before his body recovered, and the thunder god had fallen, and his body fell into the cracks in the space and disappeared. And the strange plant Thunder Hellvine only appeared after that. Therefore, there is a saying in the plant world that Thunder Hellvine is a plant with the blood of Thunder God, and it is the real first destroyer in the plant world. The reason why it can't cultivate to the level of 100,000 years is that after cultivating to the level of 100,000 years, it is very likely to truly revive the blood of Thunder God, and even without the threat of heavenly punishment, it can continue to grow. You should know that ordinary soul beasts must have 1,000,000 years of cultivation and go through heavenly tribulations to become gods, while the thundering Hellvine only needs 100,000 years! This is enough to prove the terrifying potential of the thundering Hellvine. And now, this blood-red soul ring, which is actually more than 100,000 years old, has been integrated into Lin Huan's body. For a time, thunder flashed, and endless lightning roared in the air, and finally introduced into Lin Huan's meridians, constantly wandering and raging, the ultimate thunder, absolute terror and tyranny. Lin Huan's skin gradually turned black in the raging lightning, and the originally pretty little white face completely turned into a little black face at this moment. Lin Huan's consciousness seemed to see that in a sea of thunder, a sunflower raised its head, letting the wind and rain beat and the lightning bombard. That sunflower always raised high. Lonely, but proud, let the wind and waves rise. I am calm. The tyrannical thunder energy fluctuations continued to increase. Although Lin Huan's body had reached a level close to the limit of this sage, blood vessels continued to burst under the ravages of this ultimate thunder. The charred skin began to turn red, and the capillaries on the surface of the body continued to break with the sizzling current, and then were struck into blood mist by the raging thunder. However, the effect of the god and demon burial flower that he had taken before began to take effect. The biggest advantage of the god and demon burial flower is control. The reason why Lin Huan learned the Titan Fist and gravity control very quickly, in addition to his own extraordinary understanding, a large part of the reason is the effect of this god and demon burial flower. Although the power of thunder is destructive, Lin Huan's body has begun to adapt and is trying to control this energy. The evil power of the evil god at the beginning was far more evil than the power of thunder, but it was still controlled by Lin Huan and turned into his own ooze, and the power of thunder is naturally no exception. Absorb and transform. The sunflowers in the sea of thunder began to change color. At first, the small sunflowers with some colorful flowers and leaves gradually turned to dark purple. The slender grass leaves began to become white, and the original colorful colors were all forced to the edges of the flowers and leaves. The dark purple grass leaves floated in the sea of thunder, and the thunder power in the huge flower disk was concentrated into grains of thunder. The power of thunder was constantly absorbed, and in this process, Lin Huan's body was also receiving the flushing and strengthening of the soul ring energy. The 8 meridians of the extraordinary meridians, the Ren and Du meridians, have been opened, and under the flushing of the thunder power, the Chong meridian is connected. The Chong meridian contains 12 meridians, also known as the Sea of 12 Meridians and the Sea of Blood. The power of blood is vigorous and vigorous. Every time the blood vessels beat, blood can be pumped into the heart. The Chong meridian is open, and the heart's meridian is open. Although he didn't know that he had broken another meridian, he could only feel that his heart seemed to be strong, thumping, like an elephant crashing. His already strong bones began to change again. If you peel off his flesh and blood, you can find that his bones are also emitting a faint dark purple electric light. Lin Huan's physical body has been built to be extremely solid, and there is even no room for improvement. Ordinary cultivation has no effect on his body. If there is no great opportunity, the limit of this kind of physical body should not be improved before level 30. However, the power of the Soul Ring can help Lin Huan improve his physical body again. Originally, Lin Huan's physical body was comparable to that of a Soul King, and now after being tempered by lightning, Lin Huan is enough to tear a Soul King apart with his hands. However, the next time he can improve his physical strength, he can only wait until he obtains the third Soul Ring. As time passed, the sea of thunder in the sky gradually calmed down. Without the attraction of the thunder hellvine, the lightning strikes here have returned to normal. The sea of thunder in Lin Huan's body has also dried up, and all of it has been absorbed by the sunflower rooted in the sea of thunder. The next moment, the bottleneck was broken, and the soul power surged. Level 21, Level 22, Level 23. The soul power directly broke through to level 23, which is not a high level. However, considering that Lin Huan's body was strengthened and absorbed so much energy, and that he needed much more soul power than others to upgrade each level, it seems that this level is not surprising. Hiss! Lin Huan groaned slightly, and his eyes suddenly opened. In an instant, a purple electric light shot out from his pupils and penetrated directly into the ground. His eyes opened and closed several times until his energy could be perfectly controlled. Lin Huan stood up and stretched his waist hard to adapt to the numbness of his spine. Like a dragon turning over, the crackling of bones and the sound of thunder continued as Lin Huan stood up. It lasted for a long time. The second Soul Ring, the Thundering Hellvine Soul Ring, was obtained! Jugubo and Lin Huan stayed in the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex sect for 3 days. Because they missed Juguyan and Tandu City, they did not stay for long. On the third day, they left under the watchful eyes of Yu Onzen and the Yu brothers. Tanning and Tankson, living in the same era as Xiaohuan is the sorrow of your peers, because your brilliance is destined to be overshadowed by him. But this may not be an opportunity to witness a miracle. Yu Tanning and the others followed the figure away until it disappeared from their sight. Xiaohuan, why are you in such a hurry to go back? Have you almost learned the control of the power of thunder? Bazi, we are not strangers, I won't hide it from you. Jugubo thought that there was something important to be told to him secretly, so he quickly lowered his body and pricked up his ears in front of Lin Huan. What's the matter? Don't worry, I am famous for my tight mouth. This Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex sect, the quality of my little sister is really not good. Jugubo reacted for a while, then stood up with a dark face, and knocked his head on the familiar skull. Lin Huan chuckled. The two of them were traveling at a fast pace and had already left the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family. He was still a little worried, and only after walking for dozens of miles did he pretend to be mysterious and said, Bazi, I'm telling you, I feel like an external soul bone has grown on my spine. Chapter 72, Thundering Hell Ridge. Bazi, I'm telling you, I feel like an external soul bone has grown on my spine. Jugubo had been deceived by Lin Huan many times, and it took him a while to react to what an external soul bone was. Without saying much, he stretched out his hand and pinched Lin Huan's neck to pull him over, turned Lin Huan around, and lifted his clothes directly to his neck. What caught his eye was a dark purple tattoo pattern, and a ferocious vine like a thunder dragon went up from Lin Huan's coccyx all the way to his neck. Jugubo reached out and touched the tattoo pattern, and a slight numbness came from his fingertips. He had never seen an external soul bone in his life, but this time he really saw it. He had a soul bone, but he had never seen what an external soul bone looked like. The external soul bone would appear at the same time as the soul ring, and unlike ordinary soul bones, the external soul bone would not be in the body of the dead soul beast, but would directly condense in the soul ring and be absorbed into the body as the soul ring was absorbed. This is why all Lin Huan's actions were in front of Jugubo and Yu Onzen, but no one noticed that he had obtained a soul bone. It was not until Lin Huan revealed it himself that Jugubo was shocked to find that Lin Huan had obtained another soul bone without anyone noticing. And it was a super rare external soul bone. This is the second highest external soul bone on the Soul Master's dream list. Let's go back to Tandu City and talk about it. Jugubo looked around vigilantly, and then pulled Lin Huan to Tandu City at high speed. Why didn't you say it when you were in the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family? There was no need, because there were too many outsiders at that time. In the eyes of others, we were outsiders after all, so there was no need to cause trouble for Lao Yu. Jugubo rarely did not speak. He wanted to say that Yu Onzin was not the kind of person who was greedy for money and would not covet his soul bone, but he didn't say it when he got to his lips, because what Lin Huan said made sense. Once Lin Huan said that he not only obtained a soul ring, but also a soul bone, the nature would be different. The reason why no one absorbs such a top-quality soul beast as the Thundering Hell Prison Vine is because no one wants it, and others cannot use it or absorb it. So it was taken down by Lin Huan. The soul ring is given, and there is no loss anyway, and I can't use it anyway. But the soul bone is different. Everyone can absorb the soul bone, and the soul bone of a top-quality soul beast like the Thundering Hell Prison Vine must be top quality, and it will never be comparable to those ordinary 10,000-year soul bones. Who doesn't want soul bones? If Lin Huan is exposed in the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, he might not be able to leave. No matter what Yu Onzin thinks, the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex is a sect and a family after all. At least in these few days, Jugubo himself has seen another face of Yu Luomian, the second master of the Yu family. The three soul bones of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family are all on Yu Onzin. If there is a fourth piece, who will be the first to get it? This Yu family is just like the Tandu Empire, and it is not peaceful. You did a good job. You were thoughtful and it didn't make things difficult for your adoptive father. He and Yu Onzin were old friends, so he naturally believed in his character. However, being coerced by the family would give Yu Onzin a headache. It would be best not to say anything about this matter. If they did, they might not still be friends in the future. They would feel bad every time they met. Over time, it would be best not to see each other, and they would never see each other again until they died. Well, Bazi, I'll teach you a lesson. Never test people's hearts. These are all life experiences, Bazi. When you are as old as me, you will know. Learn slowly. Jugubo's old face turned red, and he hit Lin Huan's head with a powerful blow. This kid will become stronger and stronger in the future. This head is less and less, so you have to cherish it. Thinking of this, he hit him hard again. Ouch. What are you doing, Tilda? You can play it, and you still play it. The price of 100,000 years is not simple 100,000 years, but 170,000 years. The superb outer soul bone with nearly 200,000 years. Tang's life mark, therefore knowing that his mystery of resurrection 6 times is, when he obtained the soul ring, Lin Huan's Titan Sky breaking the main attack was his rhizome. The rhizome was shattered, and the core of life turned into endless extreme thunder to form a soul ring. The rhizome flowed into Lin Huan's body along with the soul ring, and finally took shape in Lin Huan's spine, turning into an external soul bone, Thunder Hell Spine! The 2 skills attached to the 100,000-year soul bone are also possessed by the external soul bone. The first soul bone skill, Instant Thunder Sky Flash! Instant Thunder Sky Flash is a skill that mainly exerts the speed and explosive power of the extreme thunder. With the help of the power of thunder, it appears at the target position like a flash and launches a condensed and strongest attack on it. The most unique thing about the external soul bone is its growth. With the improvement of Lin Huan's strength, the future Instant Thunder Sky Flash can continue to spread, with increased power and faster speed. It is only a matter of time to achieve the real Thunder God Sky Flash! The second soul bone skill, Thunder Dance! The Thunder Hell Vine itself has 3 soul skills, Thunder Forest, Thunder Hail and Thunder Lightning Dance, and the combination of the 3 soul skills has achieved this second soul bone skill, Thunder Dance. The infinite power of the ultimate thunder changes the surrounding celestial phenomena, turning the surrounding environment into a thunder pool, and turning the enemy into a thunder prison to imprison them. At the same time, the thunder and lightning that continue to fall are like thunder bombs bombing one by one, and endless thunder arcs surge out of the thunder pool to attack the enemy. This is the Dance of Thunder. The enhanced version is the legendary Extreme Lightning Thousand Birds. Each lightning arc turns into a thunderbird, and thousands of thunderbirds transformed by the ultimate thunder attack crazily. This large-scale attack is enough to destroy a small city. After absorbing the soul bone, Lin Huan naturally knew the effects of the two soul bone skills contained in this soul bone, and the first soul bone skill can be cultivated to the extreme to directly form a domain, the thunder domain. Soul bone skills are all made up by people. Lin Huan thinks these two names are very appropriate and suitable. From now on, he will be Lei Yi. The reason why I told Hiroko this information was that I trusted him, and I also hoped that I would have enough pressure to complete the fusion of the external soul bone with my body after returning. I guess Hiroko also thought of this, so the speed increased. 2 days later, Dandu City was already in sight. Hey, Ray. Chapter 73. The Three Queens of Dandu Fighting Team. There was nothing to see in Dandu City. After Lin Huan had a look from a distance, he followed Jugubo and turned to the mountainous area outside the city. Dandu Royal Academy was just outside Dandu City. It was very large, covered a large area, had many gardens and landscapes, and had an excellent natural environment. Lin Huan was learning the Kung Fu of Titan Fist in the Xingdu Great Forest. Jugubo had already handled the admission procedures for Haowu. This was decided before. After Lin Huan obtained the second soul ring, he would also join Dandu Royal Academy to study. Moreover, here, Haowu also met some new friends under the leadership of Zhuge Yan, and continued to be her big sister. Dandu Royal Academy was basically composed of noble children, and few of them could fight. Zhuge Yan was originally the best among the students in the academy, and Haowu was not weaker than her after taking the Acacia Heartbroken Red, and she was much younger. In addition, the admission was arranged by Douluo, so Haowu was always favored here, and the school leaders almost treated her as a grandfather, basically walking sideways. In a luxurious dormitory, 3 cute girls were doing their own things quietly in the room in different styles. Have you heard, Haowu, that Teacher Qin is going to recruit a new class of the Royal Fighting Team? I heard it, but it's not interesting. I don't want to go. Haha. I don't know who secretly signed up without telling us. If Teacher Qin hadn't asked me, I wouldn't have known that you, a bastard with thick eyebrows and big eyes, would play this trick. I was just exploring the way for you first, and I'll tell you if it's fun. Haowu, whose secret was exposed by Zhuge Yan, looked guilty, rolled over on the bed and turned her face to the other side, not daring to look at Zhuge Yan, but she didn't relax at all, gritting her teeth and being stubborn. Zhuge Yan pouted her little mouth, and this stinky rabbit rolled up. She sat up from the rocking chair beside the bed, walked to the desk, casually opened a book and said to the black-dressed girl sitting in front of the desk, "Ling-a-ling, I've signed you up too. When the time comes, the 3 of us sisters will go out together." The girl turned around. Her face was delicate but with a natural sense of alienation, and her figure was slim. Because she was indoors, she was only wearing a black tight sweater, which highlighted her exquisite figure. Her long blue hair was scattered behind her. She looked at Zhuge Yan and nodded, her sapphire-like eyes full of helplessness and doting. In terms of age, Zhuge Yan is the oldest among the 3, and Haowu is the youngest, but in terms of mental maturity, Yi Ling-a-ling is the best, while Haowu only knows how to be reckless. Therefore, Yi Ling-a-ling is like the eldest sister among the 3, managing her 2 little sisters. Zhuge Yan first knew Yi Ling-a-ling because of her loneliness. It was the time when Lin Huan was in the Sunset Forest and his life or death was unknown. She was also afraid and lonely, and she also blamed herself. If it wasn't for saving herself, Lin Huan wouldn't have been washed away by the evil spirit. It was because of her that Lin Huan suffered so much. This state of mind is very similar to Yi Ling-a-ling. On the night before her martial spirit awakened at the age of 6, her grandmother who loved her the most died of illness. They had talked a lot together the day before. Gradually, she realized that her grandmother actually died because of her. There can only be 2 nine-hearted begonia spirits in the world. In order to successfully awaken the nine-hearted begonia, Grandma chose to leave. The afternoon before, they talked a lot together, saying that they would listen to their mother in the future, carefully identify men and not be deceived, run away first when facing an enemy that they cannot defeat, and save their lives first. At that time, She was not such a lonely character. Her mind was full of thoughts that the little flower outside the house seemed to be blooming, and she would go out to see it later. It was fun that the little turtle that Grandpa caught for her could not turn over for a long time. That night, Grandma passed away. 3 months later, Grandpa became ill with longing and died of exhaustion. Little Yilingaling was just sad to the point of fainting at that time, until she slowly began to practice, until she saw the records about her martial spirit in her ancestral home. She understood everything. At that time, her paranoid heart made her hate practicing. It was because of her martial spirit that her grandparents left. She began to be confused and stayed alone in the small house where her grandmother lived every day, feeling self-blame and discomfort. Later, her parents discovered her laziness and evasion. After being scolded and crying, Yilingaling picked up her cultivation again. But what happened had already happened. After all, she had delayed her cultivation for so long. At that time, the two girls who shared the same suffering came together, told each other their thoughts, and expressed their true feelings. After hearing this, Yilingaling sighed that if you meet such a man, don't let go. It's hard to find such a man. At the same time, a little curiosity about Lin Huan arose in her heart. After listening to her, Zhuguyan comforted her and said that all life has meaning. The nine-hearted begonia in your body is the continuation of your grandmother's life. Work hard to cultivate and strive to revitalize the nine-hearted begonia clan one day. Later, Zhuguyan brought back a little sister. After Zhuguyan told her the story of Yilingaling, Ziou, who was born with a thick face and familiarity, felt super pity for this cold and lonely girl. She often thought of ways to make her happy. The three girls simply moved in together. The sunshine, cheerfulness and generosity of the two innocent girls also subtly influenced the little girl who liked solitude. When the three of them were talking about forming a team in the house, they didn't realize that someone had sneaked into the house. Lin Huan's strength is not low now, enough to sneak into the house with the ultimate control of strength without being discovered by Zhao Wu and the others. However, he was stunned after entering the house. His eyes were stunned. Everything was stunned. He saw Zhuguyan, who was only wearing a suspender on her upper body and shorts on her lower body. Her figure was perfectly outlined, without a trace of fat on her abdomen, and her skin was white and elastic. He saw Zhao Wu lying on the bed, a white silk pantyhose and a pink underwear. Her tall and slender legs were wrapped in an attractive curve, and one of her calves was erected and swaying slightly. He saw Yilingaling's perfect side profile in front of the desk. Her bumpy figure was wrapped in a thin black sweater, and her size was almost the same as Zhuguyan's, which was particularly eye-catching under the cover of black. Gulp! Lin Huan's lips were dry, and he swallowed his saliva involuntarily. However, the sound was unusually harsh in the quiet room. Who? Come out, you bastard! Zhuguyan reacted the fastest after hearing the three screams. She had already rushed to the door. However, when she searched for the source of the sound in the living room, she found nothing. There was no one there, except for the door of the living room, which was slightly swaying. In the grove next to the independent dormitory building of Tandu College, Lin Huan took a deep breath. He almost lost his life. Fortunately, he ran fast. Chapter 74 Ning Rong Narong. I want to go to Tandu Royal Academy. After bending over and admiring the scenery in the grove for a long time, Lin Huan finally calmed down. Forget it. Let's go out and avoid the limelight. It's too coincidental to go now. Lin Huan quietly left the college and turned around to Tandu City. I don't know if the pastry shop I bought before is still open. I'll go buy some pastries to eat. Lin Huan walked briskly on the road leading to Tandu City. His body was there, and his speed was not slow at all. It didn't take long for him to reach Tandu City. He came to the dessert alley again according to the direction of his memory. Entering the door, the environment in Baosu Hall seemed to be completely different from the noisy outside. It was fresh and elegant, with a faint sandalwood scent and sweet pastry fragrance filling the room, which was very pleasant. It was still decorated the same as the last time I came, but the people sitting in the room this time were not the young man and woman last time, but three people, one old, one young, and a refined middle-aged man who were drinking tea and talking in a low voice. The old man had neat and old-fashioned silver hair, and wore a snow-white robe. His facial features were simple but indifferent, and his skin was ruddy. He was a young man with white hair, but his eyes were like sharp swords. Just a glance at him was a bit dazzling. Beside the old man was a bored girl. This time she was wearing a light yellow dress, her long hair was simply tied behind her head, and she kept talking. Sitting opposite the old man was an elegant middle-aged man, with a face like a crown of jade, elegant and gentle, wearing a neat silver robe. He looked at the girl beside him with a gentle and doting look. He did not have the domineering temperament of the old man. On the contrary, his temperament made people feel kind from the heart. After noticing Lin Huan entering the room, the three of them turned their heads to look at Lin Huan, and the emotions in their eyes were different. Ning Rong was unbelievable at first, and then her heart was beating wildly with surprise, and then she began to tidy up her appearance and tidy up her clothes, and secretly put down her crossed legs. Ning Fengzi was simply a little surprised. He knew why Rong had been running here for the past few months. It was just for that boy. He was the same when he was young. He always wanted to create some premeditated unexpected encounters. There was no news for more than 3 months. He thought Lin Huan would not come again, but he did not expect that Rong would actually wait for him. Jianluo was slightly stunned. His eyes were so experienced that he could see at a glance that Lin Huan's current strength level had changed drastically from 3 months ago. He had a restrained aura and was much more familiar with his physical strength than before. This speed of progress was a bit scary. Originally, Lin Huan did not notice Ning Fengzi and the other two after entering the door, but as he walked to the counter, in the compartment blocked by the screen, Lin Huan glanced at them casually. His pupils shrank imperceptibly, and he turned back as if nothing had happened. He saw it and guessed it. The little girl was Ning Rong, and the other two, needless to say, Jianluo and my father-in-law. I want the mung-bean and 1,000-layer cake. When Lin Huan got to the counter, he couldn't remember what he bought. It's the mung-bean and osmanthus 1,000-layer cake and the white jade dragon beard crispy cake. Hearing Lin Huan's words, Ning Rong stepped forward and spoke. Lin Huan turned around and pretended to be surprised. You. It's you. Hello, see you again. Ning Rong leaned forward, stirring her hands behind her, with a gentle and delicate smile. Haha, I also forgot what I bought at the beginning. Thank you. Oh, by the way, do you want to eat? I can share some with you. Ning Rong's eyebrows curved up, like a crescent moon. Okay, thank you. It's okay, I'll leave then. Lin Huan took out 2 piles of cakes and handed them to Ning Rong. Although Ning Rong was a little reluctant, she had no reason to keep him. Well, goodbye. I forgot to ask, what's your name? My name is Lin Huan, and I'm a student of Tandu Royal Academy. Okay, my name is Ning Rong. Then Rong, goodbye. Lin Huan left Tandu City like a fly and hurried back to Tandu Royal Academy. The fusion of the external soul bone must be put on the agenda as soon as possible, otherwise I always feel that others are greedy for me. Back in the dormitory area, Lin Huan tidied his clothes and walked into the independent dormitory again. This time he knocked on the door very gentlemanly. Zhuge Yan had just searched the room carefully and found nothing fishy. The 3 girls were looking for clues in the room when they suddenly heard someone knocking on the door. Dao Wu walked to the door carelessly and pushed it open, and saw a big smiling face. She was stunned for a moment, and then her eyes turned red. She jumped into Lin Huan's arms and breathed his breath greedily. Where have you been? Why did you take so long to come back? Lin Huan looked at Dao Wu with a smile. I have been busy these days. Dao Wu, who is here? Teacher Qin, are you here to talk to us about the team? Zhuge Yan was wondering who was knocking on the door. Dao Wu went to open the door for a long time but there was no response, and she didn't come back. She walked out of the house with Yi Lingaling and stood in the courtyard. She happened to see Lin Huan hugging Dao Wu and comforting her softly. Zhuge Yan's anger suddenly roused. Okay, Lin Huan is back. Dao Wu, you didn't say a word, and you still hugged her. What a deep sisterly love! She rushed forward angrily, pulled Dao Wu out of Lin Huan's arms, and then hugged Lin Huan herself. This is the right way. Dao Wu was so angry that her mouth was pouted, but she didn't pull Zhuge Yan away, just counting the time silently. Damn Lin Huan, it's been 3 months in a flash. Are you taking care of your family? Lin Huan had no choice but to comfort Zhuge Yan while patting her on the back. When Zhao Wu's countdown was over, she stepped in between Lin Huan and Zhuge Yan and forcibly separated them. Okay, okay, Zhao Huan hugged me for 3 minutes, and your 3 minutes are up too. Zhuge Yan was speechless, but didn't get too entangled. Come on, let me introduce you. This is my good girlfriend, Yi Lingaling. Lingaling, this is what I told you, Lin Huan. Lin Huan smiled and nodded to Yi Lingaling. To be honest, Yi Lingaling couldn't accept what happened just now. What was going on? Zhao Wu and Yanzi were, although she didn't understand, she still nodded to Lin Huan. After entering the house, before Lin Huan had a chance to say a few words to the two of them, Zhuge Bo came back with Lin Huan's enrollment certificate in his hand. He had separated from Lin Huan when they arrived at Dandu Royal Academy. He went to get Lin Huan's enrollment certificate and filled out the application for joining the royal team for him. I'm not saying that, Bo. You didn't get my consent for this. I'm telling you, I'm not a casual person. I'm not willing to join any team. Haha, are you trying to piss me off? Oh, when you weren't here just now, I told Yanzi, Ziou, Lingaling and the others that I've entered the royal team. No one can stop me, I said it. Chapter 75 The New Royal Fighting Team. When he was in the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, Lin Huan had talked to Yu Tan about his future plans. Due to the error in time and space, Yu Tan did not come to the Dandu Royal Academy in this life, but chose the Thunder Academy. Lin Huan, I will definitely defeat you in the arena. Yu Tan and Yu Tangxin said this to Lin Huan at the time. He just smiled, but it made the Yu brothers particularly angry. What do you mean, look down on us? Lin Huan quickly begged for mercy. Oh, it's my honor to meet such a strong opponent like you. I'm happy. The royal fighting team in this life is very different from before, and the core characters have basically all been replaced. The candidates for the royal fighting team have been decided. The 4 of you and the 6 brothers of the Shi family are official members, and the remaining members are somewhat inferior to you in strength, so they can only be determined for the time being. By the way, Zhao Huan, your dormitory has been arranged. It is in the small Western-style building next to you. It must be said that it is easy to get things done when you are rich and powerful. Dormitories are allocated to each person in the building. But Lin Huan does not want to live alone. Resign. What a waste of money. I see that there are still a few empty bedrooms in this house. Otherwise, I can make do with it. I am not picky. The dormitory where Zhuge Yan and her friends live is also a big villa with a garden outside. The house is double-story and there are many bedrooms. Lin Huan is naturally willing to squeeze in with her little sister. Don't force me to beat you. How could Zhuge Bo allow this brat to sleep in the same room with Yanzi? He refused without even considering it. Okay. Oh, by the way, where is my dad? Lin Ping went to Dandu Royal Academy with Wu. Zhuge Bo had a high status, and with the prince's order, it was no problem to arrange a few people. But Lin Ping had worked hard all his life. Although his qualifications had changed, he still couldn't change his diligent nature. So he asked Zhuge Bo to find him a job. Now he is the librarian of Dandu Royal Academy. Although he is called an administrator, he just registers what books students borrow every day and cleans the house. He is very idle. He meditates for a while when he is free. What's more important is that the administrator can browse books at will, which is another way for Zhuge Bo to learn knowledge for him. And fearing that he would not have time to meditate and practice because of work, Zhuge Bo also found a few ants to help him. So when Lin Huan found the library, 4 ants were sitting lazily in the library, whispering about the gossip in the academy. I heard that they are going to form some kind of team recently, and these kids rarely come to the library to read. Yeah, they all went to the training room to meditate. We can't even see a single person here. Oh, isn't there Lao Lin? Let me tell you, Lao Lin took off his clothes that night and I saw his back. What? Exclamation mark. Hiss. Tell me quickly. Lao Yu, you are eating alone. Hurry up and tell me. Don't mention it. That muscle, that figure, it's just a little darker. TSK, this dead wood. Every time he sees me, he turns around and runs away as if he has seen a ghost. Me too. I even wore a floral dress that time. Guess what he did? Ahem. Lin Huan heard such exciting news as soon as he arrived at the library, and his ears couldn't help but perk up. However, before he could hear any more exciting news, he was discovered by several ants. "You are a student. Go find your books. What are you standing here for?" With an awkward smile, feeling a little sorry for not hearing the climax, Lin Huan did not explain too much, turned around and walked into the library, saw an office at the back, pushed the door open, and saw a man in a gray shirt. The man had black hair, rough features with a natural boldness, thick eyebrows, big eyes, a high nose bridge, a look full of vicissitudes, light yellow skin with a slight black, and a wrinkle at the corner of the eye with the unique flavor of time and men. The shirt on his body concealed his muscles, and his strong but not fat body was covered by the shirt. He was only 1.9 meters tall, so it was no wonder that the ant drooled. "I love it even if I am an ant." At the beginning, he took so many immortal medicines, and the rich vitality contained in them nourished Lin Ping's life source, not only restoring his body to the best state of cultivation, but also making his vitality no different from that of an ordinary young man in his 20s or 30s. Lin Ping heard the door creak, and the meditation state was interrupted. He opened his eyes and seemed to be a little confused. He had told those old ladies before that they should not disturb him when he was meditating unless it was something important. Did something happen? However, when he opened his eyes, he saw a sneaky and strange-looking Lin Huan. He was immediately delighted and stood up quickly. "Lin Huan is back? When did you come back? You didn't even say hello in advance." "You kid." Lin Huan smiled and let Lin Ping pat his back. After the tempering of the second soul ring and soul bones, Lin Huan had almost grown to Lin Ping's chest. Standing in front of him, he looked like a little adult. "What did you do for so long?" Hearing Lin Ping's question, Lin Huan took the initiative to tell Lin Ping about his experiences during this period. Of course, he hid some details, such as replacing the Titan giant ape with a senior, and saying that he had found a foster father instead of a sworn brother, and that he didn't ask to be born on the same day of the same month and year, nor did he ask to die on the same day of the same month and year. "Look, as soon as I returned to Tandu City, I came to see you, old Lin. First, I haven't even had time to see your daughters-in-law yet." Lin Ping was speechless. After hearing this, he raised Lin Huan with great difficulty. When Lin Huan pouted, he knew whether he was going to poop or fart. Whenever he said this, it would be absolutely correct to listen to it the other way around. "Oh, thank you, Lin Huan. Guess what level I am now?" Lin Huan looked at Lin Ping carefully and made a random guess. "Level 30? Lin Ping's originally boastful expression froze instantly. "Why didn't you guess that I was banned?" Sometimes it's really helpless to face Lin Huan's broken mouth. He finally cultivated to level 14 and thought about letting his precious son praise him, but it turned out that he thought too much. It would be good if this stinky boy didn't get angry to death. You can't spit out ivory from a dog's mouth. Although Lin Ping's aptitude has been greatly improved by the elixir, he has not achieved the achievement of going from level 10 to level 20 in 3 months. Lin Huan is not in a hurry. He will practice slowly and lay a good foundation. He does not expect Lao Lin to help him much. He just needs to take good care of his body and live a comfortable life. "Let's have dinner together tonight, Lao Lin. Pack up and move to my dormitory. It's more convenient to live there. Please give me recommendation votes and monthly votes." End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.